Christian Miller.
It's time for the Miller's Edge with four-time SEC champion and two-time national champion Christian Miller.
Once again with Christian Miller taking him down.
Here's college football playoff national champion Christian Miller on Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
And welcome, excuse me, into this Wednesday edition of the Miller's. Chase, don't laugh at me, man. Don't laugh. Listen, you watched me try to get a sip of water before we did the intro, and I knew that was coming, Chase. That's exactly why I grabbed that cup, or glass, I should say. It's nice glassware I got here, because I knew it was coming, and I jinxed myself because I said in my head, I was like, man, this pollen is getting bad. I was just outside. I could feel the scratchiness in my throat, my nasal, and I was like, let me get a nice quick swig real quick before we jump on here, man. But I jumped the gun. I was excited, and I knew that I probably should have took a second. So I apologize for that. That sounded like I was back at 13 years old, had like a bad voice crack. That was rough, so I apologize, folks. But welcome into this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge. We're excited, man. We got a fun one here planned for you guys today. If you guys have been keeping up, Pro Day is going on currently. Wish I could be there, but I got to be here with you guys. I don't have to. I get to be here with you guys. Get to be here talking sports with you guys, and we'll be breaking it down. And the good news is to Jaisha, who also is covering her sneesh sports, but also doing on the ground over at Pro Day. And she'll be posting all the latest coverage over on the Miller's Edge. Then also make sure you guys check her stuff out at Sneeze Sports, and then also her personal page as well. But you guys are familiar with Jaisha. She does a lot of work. Throwing up there on our X account on the Miller's Edge. So if you guys want to keep up with the latest Pro Day updates, go ahead and check us out on X at the Miller's Edge, and you'll be able to see all the clips of, whether it's broad jump, they got 40s and all that coming up. They've already benched. They're pretty much making their way through that portion of things, the testing portion. And then I would assume here probably in the next 45 minutes or so, they'll probably start naturally working towards position work. So maybe we'll be able to get some clips posted from Jaisha with some of that, but I know she'll also be doing some interview stuff at the end. So really good stuff, man. So big shout out to Jaisha. Being our boots on the ground over at Pro Day on behalf of the Miller's Edge. So we're really excited about that. And then at the top of the hour, we're going to be joined by a guest who you guys are probably very familiar with, man. He was a dog when he played here on the court, not the field. Catch what I said there, on the court, man. We're going to be joined by Alabama basketball legend, Retin Obasahan, at the top of the hour. He's currently playing overseas in the Euro League in Spain. But I wanted to get him on here. I told you guys, we got to get a basketball expert on here. Chase is doing a phenomenal job with his basketball breakdowns. And he was 2 for 2 last weekend, women's basketball and men's basketball. But Chase, I'm going to let you get a breakdown tomorrow, too, as we preview, or Friday, because the game is Friday. But I wanted to get my guy Retin on here because, number one, I wanted to catch up with him. It's been a long time since I've spoken to Retin. But also wanted to get his thoughts just kind of on Alabama men's basketball, the state of the program, the things they've been able to do under head coach Nate Oates, and also kind of get him to fill us in on what he's been up to, right? Because he finished up in 2016. It's been 10 years since he's left the capstone here in Tuscaloosa, but he's been crushing it. Matter of fact, I was just watching some of his tape from overseas recently. Chase, look, he dropped like 32 a couple weeks ago, man, like a month ago. So Retin's not slowing down anytime soon, but he'll be joining us at the top of the hour. Really excited about that. We'll talk a little bit about doing an early preview for this Alabama-Michigan game and be joined by Retin Obasahan, former Crimson Tide hooper. And so pretty much, man, we got Pro Day. We got some basketball talk at the top of the hour. Then, of course, we can always talk some spring football. The guys are off today. They had practice yesterday, first one back since being on spring break. And today is more of a lift day. I'm sure they're in there supporting their guys. Typically how it works, you see a bunch of the current guys kind of start roaming in there as they get out of classes and stuff like that to go check out their now former teammates. But Chase, it's going to be interesting, man. I hadn't looked into this, but do you know if Ty is for sure going to throw again today? I'm assuming he's going to throw again, but he had such a strong combine performance. I wouldn't be shocked if there was some consideration maybe to not throw today? That's why I'm asking, but I hadn't seen anything. In my opinion, I think everything's leading up to him throwing, but have you seen anything saying otherwise that he might not throw today?
I haven't seen anything otherwise as well as a green light for him to throw, and I'm excited to see, but it would be breaking news if he wasn't
Yeah,
going to throw.
and I know that was kind of random. I just know sometimes when guys have, not sometimes, it's pretty common, right? If a guy has a really strong combine performance, they don't typically, and I wouldn't say quarterbacks. In fact, quarterbacks usually do both because they also want to help out their receivers. So that is now that I think about it, yeah, he's not going to skip out on that. He's got to help out his guy Jeremy Bernard. But yeah, so I'm anticipating that. You know, you always feel much more comfortable at home anyway. So even though he had a strong combine performance, I feel like he should follow it up with an even better one here on his home turf. Jeremy Bernard, I'm assuming, will be running some routes. I'm trying to think though, Chase. That's the only receiver I know. I need to go back to Jaisha's intro video that she did. She broke it down, but to my knowledge, unless there's maybe another guy that we might be forgetting about, I don't really think there's was there anybody else draft eligible from last year? Off the top of my head, I can't think of it. So the reason I'm bringing this up is I think there's a good chance we see some underclassmen maybe out there running some routes, just like we've seen in the past. Like last year, we got to see Isaiah Horton, we got to see Ryan Williams, we got to see all the young receivers go run some routes for pro day. The way my mind is working, Chase, is if it is in fact only Jeremy Bernard, you need some other guys out there. Who could be those guys again? Probably Ryan Williams, maybe. I don't know. Maybe Sadarian Morgan. Who knows? I don't know, but I think that would be really interesting to get to see some of these young guys go out there and catch some footballs from Ty Simpson. I am curious to see how guys like LT Overton, Tim Keenan, those guys perform. Maybe a guy like Nikai Hill-Green, who didn't get an opportunity to perform at the NFL Combine. Unfortunately, he didn't have that opportunity, so now is his opportunity. And I know our friends over at the Bama Standard were really excited about his opportunity today at Pro Day, which I think the thing with Nikai, man, he has good tape, right? There's no denying it. He does have good football tape. Now, testing-wise, if I'm just being completely honest, I don't think he's going to test like extremely well. That's just kind of just watching him move and stuff like that. I think he has good game speed, but I'm not sure how he's going to test. Now, his numbers might prove me wrong otherwise, and I hope he tests way better than I'm probably expecting, but I just think that's kind of the type of player he is. He's not going to blow you away with the numbers on the page, but when you turn on the tape, he's a physical football player. He plays a lot faster than he might run today. And hopefully he can do some good stuff because I know that will be important for a guy like that. And I think he has an opportunity to do some good stuff at the next level. Caden Proctor will be here. I'm curious to kind of see him in those position drills, working with an NFL coach there, getting to kind of see. I thought he looked good at the combine. Now, I don't know if, again, some guys like that, they choose not to do, position work again. If they had a good showing at the combine. So I don't know exactly who's going to, I guess, work out and who's not. We'll have to see. But I wouldn't be mad to get to see some of those guys work again, Chase. I don't know, man. Just kind of getting another idea and then working with a different coach. Like I know for me at the combine, I can't remember who I was working with, but in Tuscaloosa for Pro Day, I actually had the team that ended up drafting me work me out. It was the Carolina Panthers linebackers coach. And then also worked with, I want to say Coach Dunbar. He was with the Steelers, the defensive line coach, because I had to do, as an outside linebacker, I had double duty, Chase. I had to work with the D-line. It was me, Jamie Mosley, and Bugs. Then when we finished that, I had to go work with the linebackers, me and Jamie, then Mac Wilson. So I had double duty, Chase. I ain't going to lie, man. I was a little tired out there. But the good news was it went extremely well, and I was really pleased. Matter of fact, I found my little highlight reel from Pro Day. I'll share it during a commercial break. That way our stream folks can check it out. But I always tell guys, like I was just with Damani Jackson the other day, and I told him, man, I'm like, all right, it's you and Deshaun Jones. You got two of you guys, man. Pace, make sure you're hydrated because these things can go quick, man, and it'll catch you by surprise sometimes. I don't think people realize, like, even though it's just position work, the pace of it, when it's only you and like another person going through these drills, oh, man. At practice, you got like 10 other DBs you're working with. Pro Day is you and one other guy. And it's just rapid pace. So you got to control your pace and make sure you kind of just always be smooth. Always, my advice for anybody doing Pro Day, man, is always, you'd rather be smooth than fast. You know what I'm saying? Smooth rather than fast. Because for me, I always thought, everything needs to be quick, fast. but you learn, slow it down just a little bit, right? You're not jogging, but you slow it down, take it down about 10, 15% so you can be smooth. That catches people's attention way more than you just trying to fly through things. You're a little reckless, you're slipping, you have more mistakes versus you just smoothing your pedal, smooth flipping your hips, right? They want to see change direction. They want to see how you can put your foot in the ground and plant drive on that football. Just be smooth, man. Be smooth. So if any of our listeners are preparing for their own, I don't know, high school pro day or something like that, smooth rather than fast, man. That's my advice for you guys. Chase, any thoughts on pro day before we hit this first time out that we got, man? Anything you're looking forward to see as Jaisha helps bring some coverage from pro day over on our Miller's Edge X account?
Yeah, I'm excited just for all the coverage that's coming out. I think the way you broke that down, I actually was going to ask you about that. Thank you for answering my question. Because you see a lot in pro day, really just people going fast. They're just like just running, and then by the time they get to specific drills that could help them in the draft, they're not producing like they usually do on like game tape or when it comes to like what they're good at. So I think it's so key you brought that up because I've always wondered why if it's only like two position players and they're going back and forth, why they don't look so hot on the back end of it. And sometimes it hurts them. Sometimes it doesn't when it comes to getting drafted, and you have so many personnel people there really just watching these guys go to work. So I'm excited for all these players that are going today. Just their fruits to be really celebrated. All the hard work they put in. It's not easy what they do, and I think a lot of people get to see what they do. And I'm excited, especially through Jaisha Nance and doing it through the Miller's Edge with you, Christian. So I'm excited to see what's going on because man, it's not like pro day, nothing like it.
Yeah, and it's funny, Chase. The other thing about pro day, at least from like the athlete side of it, is this is the last time that these guys will ever have to do any of this testing, like a 40-yard dash. After pro day, you can legit like you just have this like breath, just this sigh of relief. A sigh of relief. Sorry, I was thinking of like big breath of fresh air, but it's a sigh of relief. There we go. Because you realize you finish the season, and then if you're Alabama, you're any of these other bigger teams, you're expected to be playing later in the season. Like for us, like when I was here, we played 4 straight national championship games. So we were the last ones to get done. Well, guess what that means? The other prospects that play on teams that didn't get as far as we did, they've been training. They got a whole extra month sometimes of training, and we're almost playing catch up. So you go straight from a championship game or straight from the postseason right into training. And typically these guys go off to other places. So, I mean, Chase, the grind is just like nonstop, man. And you still haven't had a break. If you decide to play in the Senior Bowl, you go down there, you play some more football, and it's highly competitive. You know what I mean? The game, I know the game looks a little bit more like, I wouldn't say guys are a little bit relaxed, but if you watch the practices, man, I mean, those are practices, full guys going hard, competing, battling out. It's physical. And then you go back to training and you're running 40s. You're getting ready for the combine. Then after the combine, most of the time, guys are gearing back up in their training to get ready for pro day. And then pro day comes and it's just like this sigh of relief because you realize you'll never run a 40 again. Like after pro day for me, and I'll pull up these little highlights in here in a minute. The only time I ran 40s if I was doing some conditioning thing. I've never run another 40 in my life. Now, if I wanted to do it for fun, actually, I think I was playing around. My cousin was with me one time and I was working out in the off season. And we were playing around racing and doing like a 40. Other than that, man, I'm not sniffing it. I'm not sniffing an L-cone drill. I'm not touching any of that. There's no need. There's no need because after pro day, you can go lock in on really back to training because you want to stay in good shape, but a different type of training. You go from, hey, I'm trying to run as fast as I can in a 40-yard dash to now I'm about to just go practice and train, fundamentally for the position work that I need to do, right? To be the best football player that I can be. Because that's what matters, right? Once you get drafted, you got mini camp or you got, rookie mini camp, all that stuff coming up. You want to be as sharp as you can. So that is one of the highlights of pro day for the athlete side of things, man. No more 40s, no more broad jumps, the things that they have a little correlation, sure. But at the end of the day, I think we put too much stock in that stuff. That's why you hear my dad talk about it, the underwear Olympics, as he would call it. Yeah, I mean, I guess there is some importance to it. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, I mean, I think what you do on the football field is a whole hell of a lot more important. And thinking of pro day and saying the word underwear Olympics, man, we had some interesting things at pro day over the years. I can't help but think back. Shout out to my guy Denzel Duvall, man. Former edge guy here. You guys know Denzel. He works with player development, man. That's my guy, man. Shout out to Dirty 30. But listen, Denzel went out there, Chase. I know we got to hit this break. But Denzel went out there with the Fruit of the Looms tank top. Mind you, they give us pro day apparel. Nice Alabama football pro day apparel. This man went out, and this is how you know he's from Bastrop, Louisiana. This dude went out there with a Fruit of the Looms, like, white beater on. And I think like some damn Hanes draws, man. Like some boxer brief draws. I'm like, bro, put the girdle. Like, we got girdles and compression shorts for free. Go holler at Springer and Equipment. I'm like, come on, man. They take photos of pro day, and there's literally a photo of this dude running like that. I'm like, Denzel, I mean, you can take him out the country, but you can't take it out of him, I guess, or whatever.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, Bastrop, Louisiana. I'm like, if this one thing doesn't sum up who Denzel Duvall is, I don't know what else does. I'm like, he's the only one in the damn Fruit of the Looms whole attire. I mean, they should have sponsored him at that point. I mean, Alabama football pro day, Chase. He's wearing Fruit of the Looms head to toe. Well, head to thighs. Oh, I guess toe if you count the socks. All right, we got to hit the timeout. When we come back, we keep talking some Alabama football pro day. Again, if you guys want to stay up to date with it, I don't think it's televised. Just like, unfortunately, A-Day is not going to be televised. They're taking away the television rights, guys. You got to follow us at the Miller's Edge on X, or there's various other accounts. I think Ty 100.9 is definitely posting a lot of stuff too, but make sure you guys go check us out on X. Check out Jaisha's page as well. You can catch that through our page, and then also Sneeze Sports, all the good stuff that she's doing over there. And we'll keep on covering it, keep on talking. And again, Retin Obasahan, former Alabama basketball player, here at the top of the hour, right here on the Miller's Edge. Ty 100.9, 1230 WTBC.
The Tuscaloosa Thread News Update is brought to you by Tuscaloosa Chrysler.
And we'll cover these numbers too, because I think Jaisha's got a lot of these numbers as well. Looks like LT got a 9 flat on his broad jump. Not bad for somebody who, I need to see what he weighed in that, but not bad. Let me see. Let me show y'all. Let me show you my. Hold on. Here, this is me at Pro Day. Here's my little Pro Day highlights. Hold on. Here we go.
Don't make no sense. All your pockets full of lit. You ain't talking about this. Them ass diamonds, I have to squint. I should leave a dent. Dropping the
Get it up! Come on! Come on!
Back with the minutes. I'm chopping some isses. In the
Now you see how you hit. That's how you hit bags, guys. You see all the dudes doing all this. They tap bags and do all this cute stuff. Let me watch my language. I know you guys might be at work. That's how you hit these damn bags, guys.
ooh. Shit. Wow. We're looking at yeah, I've been
Come on now. Hold on now. Listen. Yeah. I'm 6'3" and 3/8, like 6'4". Yeah. That's 6'4" moving like that. I look like Xavier Brown. Hold on now. Listen, and this was after doing D-line drills, man. And on a hamstring that was like 80%. I wasn't even fully healthy at this point. That's why I always say, like, Combine, I'm not gonna lie, I ain't have great combine performance on the field stuff, man. I wasn't quite there physically, my hamstring. I'm not gonna lie. I felt a lot of pressure, not being healthy, just everything, man. So that's why I was like, pro day, I got a ball. I got a ball on pro day. And I did. I'm not gonna lie, I did.
Me a seat, baddest go did it to me.
You set the edge, by the way, guys. See that extension? And this was the heaviest I was. I was like 247 right here. I was pushing 250. I had never been that heavy in my life. Shout out Coach Dunbar. I know you guys remember him, man. He was our D-line coach back in, what year was that? I don't know. It was around like 2017 or something like that. Hips a little slow. Come on, Fromm. Don't do that. Don't even try to. Don't even do that. Come on now. Tell me where. Tell me where. Tell me where. Hold on, man. Nah, that's cap. That's cap. You talking about the linebacker drill? Nah, look, come on. All y'all freaking out about Ruben Baines band. Look, we talk about shin angles. Come on, man. Come on. Nah, don't do that, Fromm. And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Again, we're talking Pro Day today. It is actively going on right now over in Malmore in the indoor facility. We got active live coverage. Shout out to Jaisha Nance, Sneeze Sports. She's covering it for us on the Miller's Edge page. So if you follow us on X, you guys can you can see all that. She's posting a whole bunch of stuff. Matter of fact, let's go over to our X account real quick and see all the latest updates that Jaisha's got for us on our page. Again, I think they're finishing up a lot of the testing stuff right now. I don't think they're doing the it looks like Jaisha just posted this. Looks like they haven't made it to they haven't finished the testing just yet. Matter of fact, they're gearing up for 40s. So Jaisha just posted this. So these are the guys that are going to be running the 40-yard dash. Now remember, majority of these players ran at the combine. Well, the guys that went to the combine, right? So you've got Brody Dalton, who, I'm just gonna skip past that. Chase, who is that? I feel terrible saying that. Is he on our roster? Or is it because I know sometimes they invite like Alabama State or other schools. Lord, let's just move past that. I don't know. Chase, hey, at least it's not just me. You're also kind of sitting there. I'm not. I promise I'm not trying to be funny. Let me do a quick search. Maybe he's like I don't recognize that name. I mean, oh, okay. He was one of the transfer tight ends. He was one of the guys that transferred last season. So he was here 1 year. So listen, we're not that bad. He was here 1 year. I don't think he played a whole bunch. I'm reading his it says in 2025 maybe a little bit against Wisconsin, did some special teams and a lot of SEC play. All right, okay. All right, so he was a transfer tight end. Sorry about that. So he is going to be running the 40-yard dash today. Brody, I'm sorry. I apologize. Didn't recognize your name at first. Cam Dewberry, that's a big old boy running that 40, Chase. I don't know, man. That's a big old boy running that 40. Now, what did we end up getting with Caden Proctor? Because I feel like, wait, who is it? No. Who was it that we were guessing? I think it was Proctor, right? Where we guessed. I think he had a pretty solid time. Nikai Hill Green, I'm curious about that one. Damani's running it again. I know Damani ran like 4.41 at the combine. I asked him what he's anticipating running today. He said he's thinking low 4.3. So we'll be on the lookout for that. I think he can do it. I didn't realize that he had set like state records back in California. in high school with track, if I'm not mistaken. So he's looking for a low 4.3 today, improving on that 4.41. Justin Jefferson, he was in that 4.5 range at the NFL Combine. I think he probably thinks he can get down in that 4.4 range, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's a pretty fast dude as well. You got Deshaun Jones, LT Overton, Jaden Roberts, Geno Vandermark, and Dre Washington. So those are all the guys that will be running the 40s coming up here shortly, because Jaisha posted that a little less than 10 minutes ago. So we will be on the lookout for some of those numbers. Looks like we got a quick post right here from Jaisha of Kalen DeBoer chatting with ESPN. So maybe they are televising it. I don't know. I mean, if ESPN's there and he's doing the little thing, it's probably just on one of those, I don't know, like SEC network channels or something like that. So maybe there is actual covered, but we'll just tell you there's not. That way you guys go check out our our X account. There you go. We'll mess with you guys a little bit. And then here you have the broad jumps. Jaisha got some good clips of these guys doing some broad jumps. You see LT Overton right there, Nakai Hill Green, and it looks like Washington off the back of the shirt right there. So we're gearing up for 40 times. Chase, out of those people running, man, should we try to play a little guessing game here for fun? I mean, hell, we're just talking pro day. We're having some fun. Again, we got Retin Obasahan joining us at the top of the hour, talking a little bit of Alabama basketball, this Michigan matchup. Cam Dewberry, let's start with Nakai Hill Green. I'm curious about that one, because I feel like I don't even really know where to go with that. I know they joke around. They called him like the old guy on the team, because I think he literally was older, right? You got to watch him move around, man. Sometimes at practice, he kind of did walk around like his knees were bothering him a little bit. So, but on the game, when you watch the tapes in the games, man, the tape is like he can move. You know, he can move, but a 40 is different, brother. 40 is like, I mean, it's your start. It's, keeping your head down, driving, pumping your arms, finishing through the line. I mean, it's not just like, oh, there's guys that are really fast guys, but then if they don't have proper training for a 40, it's not going to really show. This guy's clearly been training. So, Chase, I'm going to go for Nakai Hill Green. I'm going to go like mid 4.7, like 4.75-ish range. I'm going to go mid 4.75. Now, I really don't know. Like, I'm going into this blind. I'm just going off of what, like, game tape, he looks pretty quick, but then I also just know sometimes I'm like, man, like, I don't know. You want to take a jab at it?
Why not? I go 4.8. I think because he hasn't ran it yet. So when you're in it for the first time, you're right. It's all about technique. It's all about where your hand placement's at, where your head's at. Your get off is huge, and then staying consistent through the 40. Having that stature. So hey, I love for athletes to prove us wrong. That's the point of it, to do better than what we think you're doing. So, but yeah, it's funny because like on tape, he doesn't look as fast. When I watched him in person, he's catching people down. Even though it's kind of old.
Listen, like they joked with him on the team about that. You know what I mean? Because he was an older dude. I think he was probably like 24-ish or something like that. But I mean, you could just tell. I mean, just like when we had him on the show. I mean, he's a very mature guy. I mean, he's an older dude, but he's a joke about that. But I don't know. Are you going to go? All right, I'm gonna throw it out there. 4.7 over under, Chase.
I'm gonna go over, just because he doesn't have the experience in it, and I've seen from past players that are doing it for the first time, they struggle a little bit. But because it's UA, I'm gonna have some grace with it. But I feel like it's gonna be a little bit over, not too crazy where it's scary, but gonna go over.
Gonna go over. All right, Carson. So I mean, that's a long time ago. Wait, was that high school for him? I'm guessing maybe. I don't know where Carson got that number from, but he said 2020, 4.6. So I don't know. We'll see. All right, Damani Jackson. You think he's going to get that 4.3 that he's going for? I'm gonna give him the 4.3. Now I will be honest with you. It depends. Yeah, because there's going to be a bunch of scouts that are timing it, right? They all have their hand clocks. I don't even know who we officially go off of, because everybody has different stuff. I don't know if there's like one person that they officially keep the time. Who knows? But anyway, I think he'll be in that 4.3 range. Now, he said low 4.3. I don't know if I'm going to specify on all that, but I'll give him 4.3. You think he's going to get it, Chase, or you think he stays in that 4.4 range?
The fact that you had mentioned he ran track in California has me sold. They breed track athletes out there. Just, man, if you want to see some speed, especially like Damani Jackson, yeah, I'm putting the house on it. He'll hit 4.3 for sure. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. And we'll do one last one. Let's do LT over to did he run at what did he run at the combine? I don't even remember what he ran at the combine. I don't even remember. I don't know. We don't have to do it. We got to hit the break anyways. We're running a little bit over for this timeout anyways. But I don't know. I'll just throw one out there for him, I guess. It's hand time now. Give me. I know actually because we need to see what he ran at the combine. Don't worry about it. We'll take the timeout unless you already have it pulled up.
Yeah. So he ran a 4.87.
Okay. All right. So 4.87 at the combine. It sounds like if he's running again, he clearly thinks he can be better. He thinks he can be better. I think he stays around that 4.8 range. You think he improves on it, or you think he stays on that range?
I think he stays around that range as well, Christian.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just have that feeling. All right, well, we got to hit a timeout. We come back. We keep talking Alabama football pro day again. They are gearing up to run the 40-yard dash. And I want to say after that, you typically have some of the L cone stuff, and those are the last few remaining testing periods until we get into some of the position work, which I'm excited to kind of get some coverage on that and see and hear how these guys are performing. So we'll hit this time out here. When we come back, we'll keep talking pro day again at the top of the hour. We'll talk a little bit of basketball with Retin Obasahan, Alabama basketball legend, and then we'll dive right back into pro day because we'll be around that position drill time. So we'll keep rolling like that. And if you guys want to get on the conversation, 205-342-9904, you guys know the drill. Right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. From Sports Illustrated's piece on him in 2020 from the recruiting class when he committed to Michigan. I mean, he was younger. I don't know, man. I don't know. What did I say? I said 4.7 for him. Hit that. He'll probably be around 4.6. I can see him around 4.6. Maybe I shouldn't doubt him like that. Maybe I shouldn't doubt my guy. Maybe I shouldn't doubt him. It's not on SEC Network or ESPN. Yeah, I don't know, From. I just saw Jaisha posted him doing an interview, and it looked like if I could get it to load. There we go. Let's see. Hold on. Again, big shout out to Jaisha, man. She's our boots on the ground up there. So if you guys have a second, man, check out her. Wait, let me see. Her personal is. I think she's using her personal a little bit more. I know Sneesh Sports is what she uses to cover, like do all her work, her sports media coverage. But I know she posts a lot on her personal, which is at JYE Nance, Jai Nance. You guys can you can check that out on her X as well as ours. She's posting directly to our account as well at the Miller's Edge. All right, let's see. Yeah, I think she mentioned ESPN in this clip. Not 100% sure. All right, let's see. See what else we got here. You ready for the draft next month? Ramon, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm definitely ready for it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I like the draft because it's always just exciting seeing where everybody lands, and then kind of going back to like my experience with it. It's always cool. Like, I mean, I remember for me, like, after pro day, you know, you had the ability to go on visits with teams. There's like those top 30 visits. If they request one, I took one to Dallas. I took one to Carolina, who ended up drafting me. And me and Damian Harris were on the same visit to Dallas. It's kind of like a recruiting visit almost, except you clearly aren't the one in control of where you go, but they fly you out. You know, you have an itinerary. They, you know, you basically, you go out there, they'll show you around. Like I remember, you know, they took me through all the facilities down in Dallas, the guy, like the team, like the guys, I think it was around like OTA time. So they were doing workouts. Like, you know, I met Dak Prescott and a bunch of other dudes that were in the weight room. Met with who would have been my position coach, met with Jerry Jones and like his family. Like there was a dinner and we did all that. So it feels like a recruiting visit pretty much. And you're there for about a day and a half. You fly in, you do some stuff that day, that evening, and then the next morning you might have a couple meetings and stuff where you fly out. But me and Damian Harris were together on that one. And then Carolina, I think it was just me. I don't think there's any other Bama guys. But and outside of that, I mean, you can also have I did a workout with Dallas. They are trying to work me, man. You got to be careful, like as a prospect. Sometimes, man, I'm not saying you turn stuff down, but you just know, like, you just went through the combine, you just went through pro day. Like, I get them. Like for me, like I was an outside backer / defensive end. So in their system, they didn't run a 3-4 at the time. They were more of a traditional 4-3. So I would be kind of like, you know, playing Sam at some, you know, in some situations I would have been a defensive end, and others more so on the defensive end side. So they wanted to work me out and kind of see all that stuff. But those extra workouts where they're individual workouts, those things suck, man. Because it's just you. And if you have a coach that's going to be trying to like push you or test you, nah, man. But, or you'll meet with other teams and like, you know, do board work and sit in with them, and they might pull up your tape. They might pull up their tape, try to walk you through like some of their install and see how quick you can grasp it and your understanding of the game, all that stuff. So that's kind of like what's after pro day. That's the period left that you got. Then you got the draft, man. Then you're just kind of sitting there. Like literally, like for me, I just was, I didn't have like a big draft party or anything. I just had, you know, literally like my parents at my house. We had little hats and stuff, and a couple of my teammates stopped by, and man, you kind of just sitting there waiting, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. You just kind of sit there and you just wait, you know, and your agent might kind of have some little nuggets for you. Like for me, like he's like, yeah, you know, I've New Orleans reached out. They said they're definitely looking to if they need to take an edge, and if you're around, they're definitely considering taking you there. Like stuff like that. Like it's like a waiting game, man. But it's a cool process. It's definitely a little stressful though. Can't even lie. Can't even lie to you. And welcome back into this Wednesday edition, Pro Day edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Again, for all the latest updates, man, check out our X account at the Miller's Edge. We got Jaisha Nance on the ground, and she's actively covering it. You also can check out her page at Jai Nance. She's also posting a lot of good stuff over there as well. We got an update from Jaisha over on X. Looks like this time it's a clip of the guys gearing up and warming up. It looks like it might be okay, here we go. This is why, shout out to Jaisha, man. This just answered one of our questions, Chase. So this looks like a group of receivers that are warming up to run some routes. So we just were talking about, hey, who might be running routes for Ty Simpson when he throws and assisting Jeremy Bernard, so he's not the only guy out there. It looks like let's just read the tweet. Jaisha says, there's considerable speculation about whether Ty Simpson will throw today or not. Okay, so I wasn't wrong about that either. That's why, Chase, I knew I wasn't tripping. I was like, when you perform as well as you do at the combine, all other positions, I'm not going to lie to you, like most of the time, you don't go and do it again at pro day. Like you just don't. Like if a D-line, linebacker, like, you know, receiver, if you have a good combine performance, like on-field work, position work, you typically don't do it again. But I was like, I mean, for quarterbacks, I feel like it's a little bit different because you're going to go throw it. You want to be the quarterback for your receivers, right? Like Jeremy Bernard, you want to help those guys out. But I guess there is a little bit of a business decision for Ty to make, because you might want to help Jeremy Bernard. Like, let's just say this. If there was no wide receiver that he was trying to help out, I guarantee you his agency and he probably would just lean towards not throwing again. Why? You don't really have, I guess, much higher to go. I mean, you threw really well at the combine, and now you're kind of regarded as making a push for the top quarterback. I would argue you kind of only could go down. And let's just call a spade a spade. It's not like he's going to just drop down if he doesn't have the best performance. But do you get what I'm saying, Chase? I guess the better phrasing would be, I don't know how much he really gains from throwing again, unless he goes out there and doubles down and he's like lights out, extremely accurate, and blows people away. And I guess, yeah, technically he could further that conversation about, hey, is he actually the true quarterback one, which Dan Orlovsky got slammed by Pat McAfee. I might have to pull some highlights up from that just to kind of hear the balance, right? We've heard so much about Dan Orlovsky and his push for Ty, but then the rebuttal from Pat McAfee on his show, it was man, it was pretty brutal. But anyway, the tweet goes on to say, while the media lacks a definitive answer, the presence of several Alabama wide receivers warming up suggests Simpson will throw. Rico Scott, Ryan Coleman Williams, Jeremy Bernard, of course, he is draft eligible, and Noah Rogers. I mean, maybe she's like got an AirPod and she's listening to the show and she just heard us say like, hey, we were curious about this. Or actually, she's damn good at what she does, man. She already knows what people are wondering. Shout out to Jaisha. But yeah, so those are the guys warming up. You see, now that I see the video better, you got Ryan on the ground. That's him doing a little butterfly stretch, loosen up the groins, it looks like. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe I just don't recognize these guys like that. Chase, this is bad. Jeremy Bernard's to the far left. I want to say, Rico Scott's to the far right, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really know what Noah Rogers looks like that. So I'm assuming he's one of those guys. The guy in the blue shorts, I don't think is about to run any routes. If so, he don't really look like he's prepared to do it, but probably not. Anyway, that's what we got here. So speculation on whether Ty Simpson will throw or not. But to Jaisha's point, I think it's safe to say there's a good chance he is. If he didn't throw, I'm trying to think of who could fill in, because I don't know of any like former Alabama quarterbacks that might be trying to, you know what I mean? Because, you know, sometimes there's former guys that show up and they want to get a pro day workout. Like, for example, a couple years ago, DJ Fluker came back, who had been like a 9-10 year NFL vet at that point, but he was trying to, you know, earn a spot back on a roster, and he participated in pro day. But I can't think of any Alabama quarterbacks of recent years that might be around. I mean, unless you get like a former guy. Like one time we had John Parker Wilson come practice with us. Kind of like funny. Matter of fact, him and Trent Richardson came and practiced with us. It was one of the crazy. Okay, Carson. No, I'm not even being silly in the comments. That was kind of the practice, man. We literally had like John Parker Wilson and Trent Richardson just show up and practice with us during bowl season, which I didn't know that was legal to bring back, you know, legends from the past like that, but it was definitely quite the experience. Anyway, so there's that. We'll be awaiting that whole deal coming up. But I do know we got to hit a timeout, so let's go ahead and do that. Stay on schedule. We come back, we'll keep talking Alabama football pro day currently going on. Again, they're wrapping up the 40s, probably wrapping up some of that Elko stuff and getting ready to do some position work. So we'll definitely be on the lookout for that. And again, at the top of the hour coming up shortly, we'll be joined by our guy, Retin Obasahan, Alabama basketball legend. And it looks like we got the Pastor Payne on here. So we'll bring him on board next segment that we got. Talk a little Alabama football pro day. All that right here, and coverage on the Miller's Edge, both on X and, of course, on Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
Coming up on the...
Oh, wait, Chase.
Coming up on the Wednesday.
What do we need to do to get these previews done, man? Like the coming up tomorrow deal. Let me know what we need to do, because I've been trying to figure that out. I've been asking just to get the basic. Hey, coming up tomorrow on the Miller's Edge, we'll be joined by so and so. Great, interview coming up. Blah blah blah. Right here on now I see that they've evolved. They not only do they haven't given me my previews yet, they got people got custom soundtracks to their previews, man. Come on, Chase. Chase, you got to hook us up, man. I mean, we got all this great stuff coming. We got to let the radio listeners know. Now, of course, we always do it on social media, but dang, before they figured out how to give us a preview, they done got folks custom soundtracks and beds and stuff like that. Come on, man. All right, good deal. 100%. Yeah, we'll do that, because I just want to make sure I want to make sure people know what's going on, man. We've been having a lot of stuff going on, man. All right, and then see Carson, now you and Austin, man. All right, come on, man. I ain't fooling with you guys today, man. I'm not fooling with you. No. Y'all aren't gonna get me involved in all that nonsense, bad. Just tag me in the pick. All right, let's see. What pick are we looking for? Oh, Austin Mack and Keelan Russell. I ain't gonna lie, man. Keelan looks a little tall right there. You can tell, man. He's definitely had a little bit of a transformation. Looks like he's putting on some weight, which is good, man. That's really good. I don't think it's the shoes. Now, to be fair, I mean, maybe his shoes, the sole on his shoes might be a little bit higher, but
Hello, can you hear me?
yes, sir, we got you.
That's on. That's on.
Bet. Yeah, Chase, I'll do this. Can I do it recorded like this, or do I need to send it to you like externally somewhere else? Like what's best? I mean, either way works. Keelan's listed at 6'3". What's it? But what is it? They got Austin Mack listed at what, like 6'6"? Personally, I mean, I feel like that, I don't see a 3-inch difference necessarily right there. I mean, Austin Mack do got a little bit of a head on him right there. No offense. Maybe that's maybe that's accounting for another inch or so, but Julian, what's going on? Roll Tide.
You know my.
All right, so you mean like sending like an audio note or something, Chase? All right. I got to think of a song to use, man. I want to use like a like the NFL countdown theme. I think that would be fire. You know what I'm saying? Like let's do something like that. Come on, hey, we gotta step up in this battle. You know what I'm saying? We gotta start turning up the heat. We gotta pump out some damn, I don't even know what you call those, snippets, previews.
Yeah.
Let me stop being funny.
You know my name.
Appreciate that. Who's that? Ken? Yeah, thank you, Ken, for tagging us in that.
You know my name. You know my name.
Somebody said, I don't know why, but calling it by his full name makes it feel like a field day race in middle school. 40-yard dash participants. I mean, what else would you say though? I mean, like 40 participants. I usually say 40. I think it sounds cleaner. 40-yard dash participants sounds better. Are you showing us the pool that you'll probably never use since you don't like water?
What's up?
I said, were you showing us? You were intentionally showing us the pool
I
that
was
you
trying to
never going to
set-
use because you're scared of water?
I'm trying to set my get up with so. I'm at the
Wait,
house
Carson.
today.
Wait, Tasha Cobbs Leonard. We know about that. Carson?
Yeah, that's saying you know my name.
No, I said our guy Carson was in the chat. Carson was he was rocking with it, man.
How you walk with me.
So maybe they're not televising Pro Day, but they just are like interviewing.
How you
Brother, hold on, man. You got to pause the choir for a second, man. I'm losing my train of thought. I don't think they're televising, but maybe they're just like featuring him on an interview or something like that.
All you gotta do is go to ESPN. I can tell you in a minute. Hold on.
No, our chat said they're not streaming it. And welcome back into this Pro Day edition of Miller's Edge, Ty 100.9, 1230 WTBC. We're going to talk some basketball here in a few. We're going to take a quick break from football while we await they finish up the testing part and they get to the actual, drill work, right? Position work, field work. I'm looking forward to that. Still waiting to see if Ty Simpson officially will throw. I think there's some speculation on that. Clearly, I wasn't the only person trying to figure that part out. So shout out to Jaisha, who is our boots on the ground representative for us on the Miller's Edge at Pro Day of Sneeze Sports. So make sure you guys check out our X account for all her updates there and also her personal stuff as well at Jai Nance on X at. All right, we got the Pastor Payne joining us real quick. Again, we got Retin Obasahan here at the top of the hour. It's going to be fun, man. You like basketball, so I'm going to get you to talk some basketball with their guy, Retin, man. He played here back when I was in school, and he's been playing overseas the past 10 years. And so we'll kind of preview that Alabama-Michigan game with him. But before we get to that, welcome in. Appreciate you hopping on with us. And I'm sure you've seen or heard. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say it's pro day. I mean, you know what I mean? I know you're going to be talking about some guys out there. I actually sat back and listened to Mel Kiper and the other guy yesterday as they broke down Ty Simpson, who they have both going late first round to Arizona. And so both of them were very high on Ty Simpson, actually liking him to Mac Jones, a guy that started his last season at Alabama and became a first-round pick. Of course, made the Pro Bowl and all that good stuff, but it's bounced around. But yeah, I mean, I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm at the house today, and went out and got some print work done, did my church stuff, administrative things today, golf tournament stuff, so I was free. The Miller's Edge, you know, we got people on here that know about Tasha Cobb. You my name, you know my name. I mean, we got some great, awesome people, man. That's awesome.
Boy, he said his dad is also a pastor. I didn't realize that, so that makes perfect sense. That he's going to have that gospel in that playlist. We got a update from Jaisha, who also just posted this on our X account at the Miller's Edge. Again, you can follow us there for all the latest updates. Ty Simpson's actively walking around in his pro day gear after being in warm-ups for the majority of the morning. So looks like he's still got his tennis shoes on. So I don't know if it's confirmed just yet, but again, I think everything's pointing to him throwing. Let me ask you this question, because me and Chase were just discussing this. Ty Simpson, you just mentioned him. A lot of people really high on him. Sounds like he's almost, about as close as he's been so far to being a first-round lock. Some people going as far as saying he's giving Fernando Mendoza a run for his money as the number one quarterback in this upcoming NFL draft. Do you feel that it's necessary for him to throw again today at Pro Day? I mean, he's coming off of a strong NFL Combine performance. A lot of people walked away very impressed with what he did there. Now, clearly, I know he wants to help his guys out. You got guys like Jeremy Bernard. I think that might be like the only draft-eligible receiver, to my knowledge, unless I'm forgetting somebody, that's really going to be partaking in Pro Day. But still, I don't know who would throw if he didn't. But in terms of Ty specifically, I mean, do you think he has much to gain from throwing today? I mean, do you feel like he could maybe even further that conversation to really give a push for that number one quarterback in this upcoming draft by maybe what he does today if he has a very strong Pro Day performance? Or do you feel like he almost has a little bit more to lose, say, for whatever reason it's not his day today?
I think both of these things can be true at the same time. I think he can go either way. At this point, listen, I always said that the film is going to make the biggest difference. I mean, that's going to be 80% of what teams think of you anyway. Now, those teams that might be bubble teams and have questions about can you make particular throws, can he throw the deep out, the deep comeback route, the dig route, all those different things, and may want to see him in person. Most of them have seen him at the combine. He did throw, so he's already answered those questions, and that's things that they're saying right now. The guy can make every NFL throw, right? They're high on that. So I don't think it's going to hurt him. I think the only thing it could do is increase where he's at. I think he can show that, hey, man, you get on your home turf, you're in the bubble, inside facility, you're going to feel a level of comfortable ability for us throwing to your guys. So I think he can maybe impress a team or two that might have questions about him, that might, be higher up in the draft, that wants a quarterback. So yes, I think he can help himself. I don't understand why guys don't go out there and compete. To me, if I'm a scout and I like Ty Simpson and he comes out and be like, well, I threw at the combine, I'm a whole lot today, I'm good with where I'm at. That's going to tell me then you're scared of competition. You're scared of competing. You're scared of going out there with all these folks out here saying, you know what, I got this type of moxie already anyway. I don't care. I'll throw again. If I'm healthy, I'm slinging this thing. Matter of fact, you're going to walk away from this pro day higher on my ability. That's what I'm looking for as a scout, as a coach. I'm looking for that guy that says, you know what, hey, man, I'm not afraid. I go out here and compete. I go out here and show you what I got. I mean, so listen, here's the bottom line. Ty Simpson is going to be a first-round pick. You know, again, Fernando is a really good quarterback, a game-changing dude that's coming in to the National Football League and going to change the team. No, I don't see that. You know, I just don't see him being the overall #1 pick. I think that's a fail. And don't shock me, that's the Raiders again. They've been doing this for years. I mean, let's go get the best quarterback in the draft, and all he does is fail. And that's going to be if they go get Fernando, it's failure, right? Because this is a guy they might can get further down in the draft via trade or whatnot, trade that pick out, get another need position, say a pass rusher, a wide receiver, somebody to help you out, and get those There's two guys. Ty Simpson and Fernando. Why would you use that on this dude? Yeah, he had a great college career. Yeah, he won the Heisman. Yes, he won the national championship. But come on, man. He ain't blowing me away like that. I'm sorry. They ain't blowing me away like that.
No, and I think a lot of people share that, but I think when you look at it and you're saying, hey, we need a quarterback, I think maybe the argument could be, though, could they have tried their hand at free agency and waited till next season to try to get a quarterback? Some people feel like there might be a little bit stronger of a quarterback class next year. Definitely interesting. Maybe they could trade that position. I mean, excuse me, maybe they could trade that draft.
I would definitely trade it, get some extra picks.
Yeah.
Right, and get Ty Simpson down the road. I mean, get him in the top 10. So there's things there because they ain't that much different, guys. There really isn't. I know it's the dude didn't just throw for 5,050 touchdowns. He didn't have the Joe Burrow type of senior year. He had no year like that. He had a complete team around him. He's a very serviceable, very good, smart quarterback. Is he a dude, game-changing, locker room-changing dude? Nah, bro. Sorry.
We'll have to see. NFL draft coming up in about a month. We got to hit this top hour break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Alabama basketball legend Retin Obasahan right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC.
WTBC Tuscaloosa and W2C.
All right, looks like we got our guy Retin in here, man. Let me see if Retin can hear us. Retin, my guy, can you hear us? Looks like it might be loading.
Hope he's not in Israel or somewhere.
Nah, he's in Spain. He's actually in Spain.
Okay. He's out there.
You know what's funny though? I think Retin did play over in Israel a few years ago. I think looks like the connection's a little. Let me try to put him back on there. I don't think we've ever tried to bring somebody on that's out of the country. Shouldn't matter though over the internet though.
We don't have no strong internet.
I'm sure he does. But Spain's nice, man. I think he's in Barcelona.
Oh, well.
I think he's in Barcelona. We'll get it loaded up. Figured out. Cuevas, yeah, that's a good point. Cuevas is in fact taking part. Thank you. I'm like, there's got to be somebody else that receiving wise though, yeah, I think it is just Bernard. But you're right, Cuevas. Ty's gonna throw. Let me see.
Cuevas is that guy that I like as a sneaky pick, third, fourth round type guy that's going to have a long NFL career. The dude was hurt, I know, the last game against Indiana and even Oklahoma game, but he's a guy that I think today's NFL, and he'll block. Yeah, man. I like this kid being a longevity type player in the National Football League.
I think he definitely is a very solid pick as well. Him and Jimmy Bernard, both Washington guys. I'm not gonna lie. Why do you say it about Bernard? You don't think Bernard could be a very reliable? I'm not saying necessarily a big wide receiver one. But I think he could be a very very solid wide receiver too for a long time in the league, man.
I love Jimmy Bernard as an individual person. His faith, great locker room dude. But
it looks like I think maybe Reddit's thing is showing Retin's.
I think he's a mid-round, high pick, 7th round.
Wait. What did you just say?
I mean,
What round?
mid fifth, sixth, seventh.
Who?
Jeremy Woodard.
Brother, come on now.
It don't really matter what round, man. Just get in there, do
No,
what.
you way off on that one. He will not be there past. I would say probably late second. I would be shocked if he's still in third. Yeah, mid third round at the latest. There's no way he's still there.
Okay.
Come on, guy.
I think you'll have a hard time getting him on, bro. I think his internet's gonna be down.
Well, I'm texting him right now. I mean, worst case, we can try to do it again another time. Let me see. Didn't expect that Jeremy take. Feels like a career NFL. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think, I mean, an easy wide receiver 2 guy. I mean, you're talking about consistent, very reliable, good hands. I mean, he runs great routes. And I mean, I feel like he's very, when I say versatile, I feel like there we go. There we got our guy in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Let's go, man. What's up, bro?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Man, I can't call it, man. It's been a minute, man. It's my pops, by the way, man.
What's up, my
Hey,
brother?
hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Nice
Yes,
to meet
sir.
you, sir.
Yeah, it's our guy Retin, man. He played here when I was in school. Retin, you finished up in when, 16?
16. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple years before me and James Flame. Jamie's moving out to California today. He took a job at Stanford defensive line coach, man.
Yeah, that's big
Yeah,
time.
man.
That's big time. Everybody moving on to bigger and better.
I know, man. Yeah, we're gonna talk about you for a minute though, man. You've been doing it for about a decade now, brother.
Yes. 10 years, my 10th season. It's flown by.
That's crazy. Yeah, you'll have to fill us in on that, man. We're in a commercial break here. We're coming back in like 10 seconds. So I'll bring us back and we'll intro you, man. We'll chop it up for a little bit, bro.
All right, sounds good.
TBC.
And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. We've been talking a whole bunch about Alabama football's Pro Day, which is currently going on over at the Malmore facility. We'll keep giving you guys the latest updates with that. We got Jaisha with our boots on the ground, giving us some great coverage. Make sure you guys check us out at the Miller's Edge on X, and also her personal at Jai Nance on X for that latest coverage. I know we got maybe some position work coming up here in a little bit, and we'll dive into that at that time. But first, man, we're going to talk some basketball. We're going to segue a little bit, man. We're joined by a special guest, one of my brothers that I went to school with here. He's gone on to do some great stuff. Just talked about it going on year 10, man, as a professional playing overseas, man. Our guy, Retin Obasahan, Alabama basketball legend, joins us here now, man. Ret, man, welcome in. How's everything going, brother?
Man, everything is great, man. Thanks for having me.
Always, man. Always. I appreciate you joining us, man. Tournaments going on. I was like, man, I'm not a huge basketball guy. I mean, I watch basketball. I'm like, I'm not an expert. My pops, he's a little bit more of a basketball expert, but I'm like, man, I need to talk some basketball with some folks. I'm like, man, it's like, who do I know that'd be cool to chop it up with and talk some basketball? And I'm like, man, I haven't talked to Retin in a while. And I know Jamie said he ran into you like a year or so ago. I'm like, let me reach out to Retin. So I'm glad we could make this happen, man, because you're on a time difference. It's what, about 8 hours maybe? What time is it over there?
6 hours. It's 6 p.m. 6:07.
Okay. So not too bad. We might be cutting into your dinner time, so I apologize if if we
It's all
messed you up
good.
a little bit. We won't keep you too long. But Retin, I want you to kind of give us a quick little, I guess, update for all our listeners. Now, by the way, so we're on Tide 100.9. We're a radio station. We also stream, but Alabama fans, you mentioned earlier before we came on here, 2016 was your last year in Tuscaloosa. Since then, you've gone on and have been very productive playing overseas all over the world, man. Just give us the latest, man. So after you left the capstone here in 16, man, what's the journey been like for you, right?
Man, it's been a true journey, honestly. I think after I left, I went into the pre-draft and did that whole spiel. Ended up doing about, if I remember correctly, I think 12 12 workouts. So
Dang.
did that. Yeah, did summer league, and then ended up just going pro. Been in Italy. Interesting part about my first year pro, I actually played with Levi. So me and Levi Randolph, we played
Oh yeah.
together my first year pro. So that was pretty fun. And then I've been, man, you name it. Italy, Germany, France, Israel, Czech Republic, Spain. I came back to the US and played in the G League for a year. And
Nice.
yeah, it's just kind of been everywhere. But now I'm in Spain, right outside of Barcelona, and the sun is shining, and I love it.
You're in the right spot. You're in the right spot over there in Spain, bro. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I'm a preacher now, but I ain't always been a
Oh
preacher. And
God.
I know about
Oh God.
I know a
Okay.
little bit about world
Okay.
travel. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, well,
Praise
listen.
God. You know what I mean?
Redden's a man of faith himself, man. Redden's been heavily
Yeah,
involved back
I
in the
understand,
FCA
but
and
I mean, I
stuff
don't.
back in the day.
Well, I don't know if he's married or what. I'm just saying, as a single man, that's a great place to be. You know what I mean? I understand if you're single, and anyway, I digress here,
He
but
said, I
let me ask you.
digress.
But listen, man, I know a lot of guys, through the years played overseas, and a lot of them make it a full career. I know that your hope and dreams were probably be in the NBA, right? Playing in the association, as they would say. But there's some really good basketball overseas. And there's some good competition. Just talk about that for these folks here in Alabama and other places that don't understand overseas basketball, because that competition is very good, and a lot of guys come from there and finally get into the NBA.
Absolutely. And I think you're definitely starting to see that in international competitions, how different countries are now being more and more competitive. They're also being more so represented in the NBA. As you see, I think the last good amount of MVPs have all been non-US players. And now you're also seeing with the NIL and that all being introduced, that a lot more players are coming to the US at a younger age as well. So I think that the way that development has been done in Europe is a little bit more so focused on not only the technical side of things, but the way to be very effective with your own abilities, recognizing spacing, recognizing how you can attack certain defenses. And you can see that once you get to like these Olympics, World Cup, it's actually benefiting a lot of players. So it's there's a lot of basketball to be played here. It's different. It's a lot more physical here. The spacing is also a lot tighter. So that's why you get guys like Giannis saying that it's much easier to score in the NBA than it is in FIBA competitions. Is because I'd say, yeah, the rules are slightly different, and in order to really be effective in Europe, you have to play really, really efficient. So yeah, it's a lot of good basketball to be played. If people are open minded to want to watch it.
Oh yeah. Oh, we just had the highlights on the screen for a second, man. My dog doing his thing. Matter of fact, I seen just throw one down on a steal or something, man. She doing anything over there. That's for sure dope, bro. But let me ask you this too, because I forgot to hit this earlier, man. I mean, because you're originally from Belgium, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. So
yeah.
how did you find yourself in Tuscaloosa? Like how was that whole deal, man? Like getting to come here and play
Wow.
for Alabama.
Yeah. So I mean, like your dad said, man of faith, because that's really how it happened. I was playing in Belgium. I was, I think, around 17. I remember my coach at that time asking me, what I want to do once I graduate high school. Because in Europe, you don't really have clean transitions between, let's just say, 18 and 22, 23, right? We don't have anything in between that like you do in the US. You have college, or people can go to JUCO, or people can even do prep and then go that way. So if you're not ready to play at the highest level at 18, there's there's actually like a gap where a lot of players fall into back in the day. So I remember telling my coach, well, I want to play in the NBA, so I want to go to the US. But I knew nothing about college athletics, like nothing. This is before TikTok. This is before, this is before Instagram Reels. So I knew nothing. So um, the way that actually happened to work out was my head coach at that time when I was 17, he used to coach John Brennan when he was playing professionally in Europe. So that's how when he asked me what I want to do, I said I want to go to the US. He was like, well, one of my former players happens to be an assistant coach at a big time school. I was like, would he be interested? And one thing led to the next. And then a couple weeks later, John Brandon was sitting in my living room with an iPad, which I also had never seen in my life, giving a whole presentation to my parents about we're at Nike school and this is Alabama and Tuscaloosa. We're playing the SEC and just tell me all these things that were just mind-boggling for a 17-year-old European kid with, I'll say at that time, limited internet access or just exposure to the US in general. And then and then I ended up coming on my visit. It was right after the tornado. And even then, still I was just blown away by the campus, the way that I was even received in the midst of all the turmoil that was going on. And yeah, it ended up being the best 5 years of my life.
Wow. So you went from Belgium to, hey, buddy, roll tide.
And I promise you, for the first 4 months, I did not understand a word people were saying.
Like, what you say? Roll tide, bro.
Oh gosh, it was it was rough. It was rough at the beginning.
No, that accent definitely is probably tough.
Yeah, that's an amazing story. Just, but again, in all seriousness, but just show you how good God is, and that His plans are greater than what we think, and we don't always understand, but how He has a great plan and purpose for your life, and you just never know till you exercise that faith and trust, and that's a beautiful story. Well, let's talk about Alabama. Do you have a chance being overseas and time differences, and do you watch this particular team, Nate Oates, and what Alabama has done over the last 3-4 years?
Yeah, so I've tried to keep up. Obviously, it's tough because I got my own games and practices, and at times they'll be playing at like 2, 3 a.m. And I love Alabama, but I mean, it ain't paying my bills. So, obviously, I got to be a professional in that regard. But it's been really exciting because I've also tried to come back in the summer. So I've met with Nate Oates, I've met with the coaching staff, I've met with the guys and see how they're doing things different. And it's been really exciting to watch and also just to see the transition in a different type of basketball that's being played now compared to what we played when I was there. It's very, very different, and it's really, really beautiful, and also just speaks to how the game has developed. And I think this is their 5th Sweet 16 since he's gotten there, and I think that just speaks to not only the culture he has set, but that his methodology works. And just seeing Alabama being, I guess, so prominent in basketball and how quickly I would say that changed has been a warm welcome for myself.
Oh yeah. No, it definitely kind of came quick, man. But you guys y'all kind of paved the way a little bit. I was talking about this not long ago. I'm like, I know Nate Oates, probably without a doubt, is the most decorated basketball coach in our history in probably 6 years or however long he's been here. But I feel like some of you guys we had a lot of good talent when you guys were here, man. I mean, I think it just kind of took a little bit to get going. I mean, you mentioned guys like Levi Randolph. I mean, I remember watching you guys. Y'all had some good players, man. So seeing it kind of evolve is cool, man. And it's nice to have a program where, like you said, consistently in Sweet 16s. I mean, I remember we were laughing about this other day. It was like we made the NIT, like that was kind of the biggest thing. We were hoping to win the first round of the NIT. And now it's like, hey, if we don't make it to the Sweet 16, it's like, oh man, that's a failure of a year. So it's crazy how that's changed. Have you kept up with any of these other teams, like Michigan, who we're matched up with? Have you been able to see any of that, Retin, or just any of these other top teams in this bracket? Did you make a bracket? Do you have a favorite kind of for this season?
I would say in terms of me having a favorite, it's Alabama, no matter who we play or where we play.
There you go.
I keep it real simple. My loyalty is pretty dead set in that regard. But I haven't seen Michigan. I think also just following college basketball in its whole is obviously tricky. I watch Alabama here and there, and that's pretty much it. I also watch some guys that played with me in Europe and have now gone to play college basketball. So those guys I'll watch every now and then. But other than that, it's just Bama.
But speak on that. So you said there's been European guys that have come to play college that you've played with over there.
The game has changed.
So so what are your thoughts on that? Because that's a big thing, Red. Like a lot of people in the States, I'm not sure if you guys realize this, but they don't like the fact that college, or excuse me, pros from overseas are coming to play college, because now we're talking about, you mentioned NIL. That's a big
Yeah.
deal. And let's just call a spade a spade. If a head coach has the opportunity to bring over a player that's playing against great competition like yourself, and they can come be a freshman in college at 21 years old, 22 years old, and you can just pay them a nice check. The reality is that guy's going to be a lot more ready to come suit up for Alabama and compete and help your team get to that Sweet 16 than maybe the 17-year-old freshman that you're recruiting out of New Jersey. So some people kind of have an issue with that. I mean, do you have any thoughts on that? I mean, you said you made the trip from Europe, but you don't think you played. Did you play pro before you played in
I
college, or?
played I played semi-pro. So when I was coming out of high school, the issue was we weren't allowed to play pro basketball and then come to college. So I had to stay in the second division, even though I had certain teammates that were considered pros. I had to stay, quote unquote, an amateur in order to be eligible for college. That was the whole situation with like Ennis Cantor back in the day with Kentucky. He ended up playing
Mm,
some pro ball, and that's why he was ineligible. So back in the days, you had to play like that semi-pro level in order to, to go to college. But I think people, I mean, if I'm just really speaking honestly,
yeah,
I
that's what
mean
we
the
do on this
system.
show.
I mean the system is a system. Do I think it's fair? I mean, I guess that's debatable. But if I was a coach, yeah, absolutely, I'll take a guy that was playing against Ricky Rubio, Mario Hazonia, and Jabari Parker last year, and then have him play against James. 18-year-old James. Yeah, I mean, I'm just being real. Like, of course I'll take a guy that has played professional high stakes basketball where every single mistake gets punished.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you get a kid that has done that at 22, 21, 23, he's going to be able to help your team in a completely different capacity than somebody that's coming from high school basketball. They'll be
Yeah,
able
that
to lead your team. They'll be able to help coach your team. They'll know structure, discipline. They'll be more responsible off the court because they were a pro. They weren't a high school kid. They were a pro,
Team
where they get
parent.
their own. Yeah, they get their own apartment, own car. They don't have no dietitian, no dining hall. So they had to figure out they had to figure out their own habits. So a guy like that, you can put him in your team, and you can have even your seniors look at him and say like, oh, like, how am I supposed to really be a professional when it comes to basketball? So it has changed the landscape completely, also in terms of just business. And I'm happy that the guys are getting paid. I wish I got a check, but I'm happy they're getting paid. So um I think they'll have to figure something out, because if not, yeah, you'll see more and more pros just coming over, to NCA and just showing why these guys were pros in the first place.
Yeah.
So
If I'm a coach right now, bro, I'm spending a lot of time in Europe, right? Because I'm going to find me
Mm.
some plug and play guys that I can bring in, and they're 21 and say they're a freshman. I mean, like you said, the maturity thing is huge. I mean, and that's what happens in basketball. That's, to me, that's who wins in the NCAA tournament. It's the teams that are more senior oriented, right? That those guys that's been around, that can play half court basketball. And it's not run and gun and pick and pops all over the court. You got guys that slow it down. They play good defense. They run sets, and these are the guys that win national championships. So if I'm a coach right now, there's no doubt that I'm going overseas and looking for some guys to bring in to play some college basketball. My final question for you, Retin, when you see, Alabama and how they play, I mean, they shoot threes all over them. I mean, that's what they do. They shoot threes. I think they number one in the country when it comes to attempts, as far as threes are concerned. The other night they played some really good defense, better defense I've seen all year long. Can this team and their style, the way they play, is it good enough with Nate Oates to get them to maybe a Final Four, or will they catch up with I just described teams that a little bit more mature, older, half court, oriented. Can this team be good enough to make a run at a natty?
Well, I think that I'll start with what I've noticed in terms of being interesting is how we actually went and recruited size, because I noticed that was something that actually hurt us when we played Purdue. Um, but I think the biggest thing, especially when you're dealing with, like the NCAA tournament, is anything can happen. Um, I'll go as far as say like it's not necessarily the best team that wins. It's oftentimes the team that had the best matchups going throughout their bracket. We have tournament scenarios here in Europe as well, and at times you can have a really great team lose early just because they matched up with somebody that is just not a good look for them. So saying that, the way that we do play, we can get extremely explosive. Just like you said, we shoot a lot of threes, and Alabama has the ability to go on runs that not a lot of teams can keep up with. So I think the challenge is being able to be effective when we might not be shooting the basketball at a high clip, being able to get stops when we're not shooting the basketball at a high clip, and then being able to execute down the stretch. I think those will be the three major keys. So just being able to get a stop when you need one, get a good shot and a good look if that's a three or something close to the basket, but then being able to execute down the stretch instead of drive and kick, and then you just get an open three, and maybe that player hasn't shot one in a while, but then this is like for all the marbles. Um, so those are, I think, I'd say the keys, but anything can happen. The way that they showed up in that second game, they were guns blazing. So, and not only that, they did it in the second half, and that is huge. Sometimes you can get a lead in the first, and then the team kind of just like packs it up, and then you just coast. But it was a tough game up until the second half, and then they actually pushed away. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how they match up against Michigan. I don't know much about them. I just know they're one seed.
Yeah.
But then, hey, Goliath went down. So let's see what happens.
That's right. That's right. Hey, Retin, real quick, man. And again, I appreciate you jumping on with us, man. It's nice to catch up with you, man. It's been a while, but I gotta ask you. You mentioned you chop it up with Coach Oates. I know you spend time here sometimes the off season, man. Did you ever get into coaching? You ever think about when you do finish? I know. Listen, the highlights that we've been watching, man. I mean, you got plenty of juice, man. I'm sure you're not slowing down anytime soon, man. You got much better knees and joints than I do. But would you ever consider joining that staff over there, man? Would you want to get into coaching one day?
Man, I don't know. I think that I have a heart for basketball, and I have a heart for young men, and just being able to help and steward them in the ways that they can be the best of themselves, whether that's on and off the court. Is my calling coaching? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm open to it. But I wouldn't say it's something that I've thought of. I'm still out here working on coaching these young guys on my team, and taking care of that.
Absolutely,
Wow.
man.
That's
That's
awesome,
good stuff.
man.
Yeah,
Spain,
I
I'm
see you
telling you,
coaching.
I'm coming over there one of these days. I'm
Oh
coming to
my
Spain,
man,
bro.
sit your tail
listen,
down.
I'm gonna come over there, man, and preach the gospel, man. The gospel got to be global. Let me come over there, man.
Yeah, okay,
Let me
as
know.
long as that's what you're doing. Yeah, as long as
Man,
that's what
I'm
you're
a
doing.
partner with me and Retin, you know what I mean? The thick and thin of the gospel. Thick and thin in Jesus' name. Repent and be baptized, I say.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm sure you would love to go baptize plenty of folks over there. Red,
Yeah,
man,
there
I'm gonna
you
let you get to what? No, you said baptize. See, you made it like that. I didn't say
See,
it like
Retin,
that.
Retin, what you
What?
need to do is stay on. See, he don't listen to me, but he'll listen to you. Bro. You tell him about Jesus and get his life on right. Get to church. And
Okay,
all that
really?
good.
I got
Talk
you.
to
I
him.
got
Talk
you.
to him. All right, bro. Talk to
Listen,
him.
okay, first
You
of
in
all,
flames. You in flames.
listen. Obviously, you are the company you keep, and if I have friends like Jamie, Redden, Levi, I mean, listen, I listen. I'm a good guy myself, man. But listen, that is a compliment. Redden's always been a good dude. I looked up to Red, man. Seriously, he's always been real solid. So I'm glad I get to chop it up with him here on our show, man. We'll have to get you on a little bit more often, man. Talk some hoops later on. But best of luck to the rest of your season.
Yes,
You
sir.
guys still are currently playing, if I'm not mistaken, right? You guys are in the season right now.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're still playing through the end of May.
Nice. Well, healthy rest of the season, man. Appreciate you joining us. You're welcome anytime. You ever just want to jump on here? I know it's cutting into your dinner dates with some of those great godly women over there in
let the man go. We
Barcelona.
got to shower up. He might have. He might have
go
a
get
chance
some
to
sushi, huh?
There you go. There you go.
Witness,
Nice.
baby. Not like witnessing sushi.
Okay. All right. Red, we appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
God bless
Always,
you, man.
brother. Take care, man.
See ya.
Good deal. Our guy, Retin Obasahan, Alabama basketball legend, joined us here on the Miller's Edge, man. Hope you guys enjoyed that
Nice
as much as
guy.
I
Very
did,
nice
man.
guy. Very
Man, he's awesome. Like I said, he was always, first class here in school, man. I'm glad that he's continuing to crush it over there. We got to hit a timeout, and we'll keep crushing some pro day talk when we come back. We'll jump back to that.
Baptized in the name of the Father.
Okay, all right. Yep. And we're going to baptize this break real quick right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC. This dude here, man. All right, Chase. So what we'll do is we come back. I say maybe we hit a quick 4-minute segment, then hit another one real quick. That way we're back on schedule. And I think that'll be perfect, man. We got to see these updates. We got to see what Jaisha has updates. Let's go on back over to listen, we obviously are growing, right? You guys see the improved visuals, the layout stuff. Now we got some boots on the ground. I mean, you see how we're going to get to a point where we're going to be able to just to send it straight to Jaisha next pro day or something like that. She's going to have her earpiece and she's going to be working on behalf of ESPN or something like that, still helping us out. The small folk here on the Miller's Edge, she won't forget about us when she blows up. But over to Twitter real quick, or X, I should say, see if we got some updates. I want to say they're running some routes. So I just saw a clip of Ryan Williams, it looked like. So here we go, guys. Let's pull it up if I could find it, man. Here we go. Oh yeah, Jaisha's got some clips for us. All right, let's see what we got here. See what we got, Miss Jaisha Nance. First one, we got Ty Simpson letting it fly. Who was that to? That Jeremy Rico? Just some little easy warm-up throws. For our folks watching on YouTube, if you guys haven't, man, hit that like button. If you guys are new, we always encourage you to subscribe. That way you guys stay up to date with the latest. Again, we're live Monday through Friday, same time that we do our live radio show, 11 to 1. Plus, we also will post some extra content, some other videos over on our YouTube channel. So we always appreciate you guys and all of our ex-listeners. We appreciate you guys listening. If you guys don't mind, if you have a YouTube channel, at some point, you ain't got to do it right now. But if you do have a YouTube channel, we always ask or encourage you guys to head on over there and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That just helps us out as one of our main platforms as well, man.
I want to answer a question there on the chat.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
About Cuevas. Will be another possible Shannon Sharp tight end. I don't know if it'd be that good. That's a Hall of Famer. I mean, that's that's very high, but I think he's a guy that definitely can be used in the passing game. We've seen him even at Washington. I remember watching him at Washington. He was really, really big in that offense, especially on third and medium routes. He was the quarterback's best friend. He can get him isolated on linebackers, safeties, utilize his size. But I think he's a guy that can get to that next level, especially in today's game, because they use what we call the U tight end, off the ball tight end, the move tight end is what they call him. H back, whatever you want to use there. But he's a guy that can do all those things, and I think he's a guy that will stick his head in there and block. A lot of times when you have these U tight ends, off the ball tight ends, they're very soft. They don't want to block. They think they're receivers. trapped in a tight end's body, but he will block.
Edition of the Miller's Edge / Retin Obasahan edition, man. Big shout out to my guy Retin, who just joined us all the way from over in beautiful Barcelona, España. I told him, I'm like, man, I've actually been learning Spanish, man. I might need to do the interview.
But
in
you
Spanish
love
a little
Barcelona. You love over there where he's at.
No, I mean, they've got the sea and stuff. I mean, I'm sure, like you mentioned, sushi. I'm sure there's good food. I've never been to Barcelona.
It's a great place to live. I'm saying it's a great place, man.
Yeah,
great
no,
place.
I mean, yeah, no, it seems beautiful. Now, I know, unfortunately, like, you know, the news of the university student that unfortunately had passed over there. I know right now we mentioned Barcelona. It
What
has
happened?
a little bit of there's a student that unfortunately, I think he fell in the water, like he was leaving a bar late at night, and I think he ended up falling in the water and unfortunately passed. But so the only reason I bring that up is because when you mentioned Barcelona and we're Alabama, right? Unfortunately, it's kind of that little negative kind of vibe. So you will. But in terms of Barcelona in general, yeah, no, I've heard outside of that in recent news, I've heard nothing but great things about Barcelona. But real big thanks to Retin, man. I really enjoyed catching up with him, talking some basketball, and man, he just was like, what? I guess 7 years too late, man. Retin probably would have got a bag in NIL coming from overseas, man. They would have been targeting Retin. I mean, you guys saw the highlights. I mean, Retin is year 10.
Well, he wouldn't have been in Alabama then, probably because they weren't any good in basketball back then. So
he might have been at a better program.
Oh yeah, he'd have been Kentucky. He'd have been North Carolina. Speaking of North Carolina, by the way, Hubert Davis, their coach, former player for North Carolina, NBA guy, was fired last night. And Nate Oates has been the hot name as one to replace Hubert Davis. So Alabama, you might want to keep your fingers crossed and do a lot of fasting and praying, because the Bible says some things only come but through fasting and praying. And so he might get an offer from North Carolina. We know that they have a lot of money. I think that the buyout for Hubert Davis was about $5.3 million, which they went to the bank and just said, hey, just give me a bunch of 20s and gave him a bag. We'll see you later, bro. Thanks for being a Tar Heel. And so
you think that was deserving, though? You think they should have parted ways?
No. Everybody's talking about they had a 19-point lead and he blew this, and they blew a lead before. Listen, his best player is not even playing. I think that another player hurt. I mean, Hubert Davis can coach basketball. Now, expectations, like Alabama in football, same thing with North Carolina in basketball. They're the expectations are off the roof, off the chain.
Right.
And so, listen, man, he can coach, but it's like anything that we see in sports today, right? It's okay if you're not getting it done in a certain amount of time. It's what have you done for me lately? A fan base, we're gonna get you up out of here. Now that you got boosters, that they're very, very meaningful now more than ever, because they can write checks to help buyouts get done. It makes it easier for them to fire coaches. And I think it was dumb, because now you got to expect to go get a Nate Oates or somebody from a very successful program to try to come over and coach North Carolina, and that's not always going to be the case. So we'll see. I mean, I feel bad for him, but he's got 5.3 million reasons to smile. And
you say that, but like you mentioned, I mean, former player and stuff. I mean, I feel like he could not care less probably about the money. I think I saw his response, and it sounded like listen, no, I know you're laughing, but I'm saying it sounded like he mentioned I wanted to continue coaching. Clearly, somebody that throws that in their response, they're upset.
But if you're Nate Oates, you've done some great things at Alabama, right? You've taken a program and done some great things. But if North Carolina comes up, knocking at the door, behold, I stand and knock at the door of Coleman Coliseum looking for Nate Oates with a bag of about 11, 10, 9 a year, At North Carolina, you got the Jordan brand. Come on, man. You have to consider. Consider.
Listen, I don't think you're wrong in terms of, I mean, you might need to at least open one ear, but I will say, I mean,
I got both ears open.
I'm sure you do. CJ gets close with Coach Oates. I mean, I know Coach Oates pretty well, and I would say he really enjoys being here in Tuscaloosa, believe it or not. I mean, I know, like, if you might listen, I'm serious. No, I'm serious. He really does enjoy what he's built at Tuscaloosa and being a part of the community. I'm serious, he does. But I'm not saying he would never not. Like, listen, that is a prime time job.
I like Tuscaloosa, but money.
Okay, all right, and we're going to, we got to, speaking of money, we got to pay some bills and hit this time out. So we'll do that. We'll come back. We'll offer some more thoughts on that, but definitely dive back into some pro day football talk right here on the Miller's Edge, Ty 100.9, 1230 WTBC.
Under the biggest cactus in town, Taco Casa.
Hey, try turning your mic up a little bit. I think your mic's just a little low.
Mine?
Yeah, just turn up the gain. It's because with you being far away, you just got to turn your gain up just a little bit. Agent says all bags are not worth the same. Listen, you guys got to understand. Like, I get it. Like, as Alabama fans, is, you know, the passion that we would have for a university, like, and I think Nate Oates has a lot of passion to this university. Like, he's built, so, like, again, in however many years it's been, he's the most decorated basketball coach pretty much of all time, I'm pretty sure, in Tuscaloosa. Like,
What
Say it
about
again? Wimp Sanderson. I would argue that I think within 6 years, I think everything he's done, I think is kind of surpassed. There should be like a gain thing you just kind of twist to turn it up. But what I'm getting at is I know it's, when you think of it like from the Alabama fan perspective, like us being, you know, passionate about the school and everything.
Check.
That sounds better. But yeah, if you just turn it up,
it's all the way up. I think when I lean back is what happened. And I was like,
that goes louder.
Check 1, 2.
It'll go louder than that.
Bro,
I'm just gotta turn the gain up.
Right there. See the lights all the way up.
Well, you probably have it because you're speak to the middle of the mic. See how you're talking to the top of it? Hold it, like, speak to the red part. See what that does. Like, hold it up and speak to the red part.
Check.
Wait, you mute. I don't know. Sometimes no, that's off. It's on mute.
Check. 1,
it's
2,
all right.
2,
Yeah, no,
2.
you're good. We'll figure it out later. Sometimes, like, you can change where it's coming from. So, like, for example, if you want it like to receive the audio from the top of it, all around, just the
What
front.
about now?
It's a little bit better. It's not bad. I just would say sounding a little low.
No.
It's no big deal. Anyway, what I'm getting at is, guys, if UNC, the school, like UNC for basketball, comes calling, like, as much as you're passionate about Alabama, I mean, I couldn't be mad at the guy if he considered that job. I don't know if it's a fair comparison, but I almost feel like UNC is, I wouldn't say it's equivalent to Alabama in football, but I feel like it's one of those storied programs when you talk about the history. You got Michael Jordan and like all the success that they've had. I mean, maybe not necessarily Alabama, but it's one of those programs where I can only imagine, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm excited to show
you as a basketball coach, getting that offer would be something you got to consider, man.
North Carolina, I've been like, you know, Alabama football. You get a chance to go there. Come on. You get a chance to go there and coach. Yeah.
And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Some folks in the chat said, look, man, UNC fell off. I know you guys view it as a big brand in college basketball, which it is. You think about UNC, you think about Duke, you think about programs like that. I mean, like, those are storied basketball programs. And while they might have, you know, fell off a little bit in recent years, I mean, the program itself, guys, I mean, that's still UNC. All I'm saying, I mean, I'm not sitting here advocating for Coach Oates.
But haven't we been saying the same thing about Alabama? Alabama fell off. Is that the same thing? Would you liken that to Alabama football then? It's falling off. It's not the same. So, but people,
but the brand is still the brand.
Yeah, the script A is still the script A. and so it's not like they've fallen way off the cliff. Now they might have slipped, you know, like the foot slipped a little bit, but that fallen off. It's still North Carolina, man, and I'm talking about former players and big names and national brands, and just like Alabama's football, that has not changed. That's right, James Worthy, you know, I mean Michael Jordan, Cliff Branch. I wasn't Cliff Branch there, I think. So I mean,
he did turn down Kentucky.
Sam
Was it
Perkins.
last I think last year I think he might have turned down the Kentucky job, or the year before. Whenever that opened up, they were going after Nate Oates, and a lot of people were concerned about that because I remember thinking like, man, that's Kentucky, still in the SEC. Some people were saying, oh, it's not worth it, and he clearly showed that he really was proud of what he was building at Alabama. So I don't know how he.
I think he has a chance to. Here's the difference.
He can leverage it for sure. Now he gonna get paid.
You have turned that program around into a contender every year, and into an NCAA postseason program. You can recruit high talent there, which he has. You can get top transfer portal guys, which he has. All right, now you need to go over to Spain and use old Retin over there to get you another dude or two. Listen, I think Alabama is in position to strike now, but he has to strike. Now you can't just keep getting the Elite Eight, Sweet 16, final, and then you know throw up on yourself. You got to strike. He's got to win a championship.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think he's positioned himself. I mean, listen, I mean, he's got great talent. I mean, they're playing some really good basketball right now. He's continued to recruit extremely well. Listen, at the minimum, he's going to be able to leverage this opportunity to make even. You're talking about the money. I mean, I'm sure Greg Byrne is going to scramble to do whatever he needs to do to make sure Nate Oates is satisfied and doesn't really pursue that opening. I don't know. But it is an interesting conversation. I do want to jump back to some football talk real quick for a second. We got some more clips here. This looks like it might have been one of the last passes from Ty Simpson to Ryan Williams. Dead on point accuracy, it looked like right there. Unless there was another clip that might have been the last one. Maybe this one was, but
that's thrown behind.
Yeah, a little slightly behind, but Ryan looks good. He's moving quick. That that slant and go, second and go. There you throw. I mean, really good accuracy on that.
Perfect outside shoulder where it's supposed to be. That was a post corner post.
Well, I was about to say I called it a slant and go. I was kind
of
confused.
No, it's a post corner right here. Post corner. Then you go back down the post. Yeah.
Post corner? Where's the?
So we run the.
Where's the second post? You missed me on that
one. Because the second post is you go straight down the hash of numbers. Watch what I'm telling you. Okay, you go.
To me, that looks like a slant into like a corner. There's no post. He's still
no corner. The corner route would be the corner of the end zone. He's on the numbers straight down.
He's not. He didn't break back in on another.
So I know what it is.
Brother, there is not a second post. Where is the second post? He literally is continuing outside the numbers. A post would work him back inside the numbers.
He's inside the numbers. He just threw the ball outside.
What? We got to take a timeout to catch back. Let's hit this timeout, Chase, because we'll assess it. We haven't even.
It don't even matter.
He's throwing it.
Get thrown against the air. Socks, jocks, and t-shirts.
I told you guys it was coming, man. Underwear Olympics police right here, man. Pastor Payne, Corey Miller. I knew it was coming. I was waiting for it.
You can make any throw with no pressure with a 6'6" defensive end not in your face.
So how about we put you back out there? You relive those glory days. You think your knees will hold up? Maybe you look like the flag football game, right? They send somebody to blitz. How about you be that guy? You think you could break down and go pull Ty Simpson's flag?
No, I cannot do that. Nor will I do that.
What if they drop an NIL bag? What did they say?
Hey, listen, man,
we got $10,000 for your ministry to go out there and go chase Ty Simpson, man. You gonna pull that flag?
Go down to the University of
Money talks with the pastor pay.
The pastor has turned in all his receipts. It's valid. Credit, please.
We got to hit a timeout. When we come back, we put a bow on Pro Day, and we'll hopefully be able to squeeze in some interviews again. We are covering it live with Jaisha of Sneeze Sports, covering it for us at the Miller's Edge on X, up there now, and I think they'll speak to the media after Pro Day concludes. So worst case, I'll hang out on the stream and we'll discuss it there, right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC. Let me see real quick. Let's see if there's some other stuff out here to pull up.
Where's the drill?
Falcons
where are the drill? Where is the drill work? Where's the drill work? I mean, I don't care about them throws. I don't see guys do bad.
Okay, first of all, put some respect on Miss Jaisha Nance, who's up there covering it for us. She's posted clips of the offensive line doing some work. They might not have gotten to everybody else yet, so she's doing a hell of a job. So first,
I'm not saying nothing about her. I'm just saying,
no, she's killing it. She's doing phenomenal, man. But yeah, Falcons are starting to look a little bit kind of like the Eagles, man, with all these Bama guys. They signed Christian Harris from Houston, Deshaun Hand from my recruiting class, B-Rob signed, and then, of course, Tua Tagovailoa. That's my first time seeing an edit of Tua in this Falcons jersey. Maybe I'm late on it, but that's a pretty clean look, man. I mean, you got the battle of two lefties, battle two guys that have battled some injuries. It's going to be an interesting quarterback battle. I want to see some defensive. Let's see. I mean, I'm sure that there's probably something. We got a super chat from our guy Adam. He says, Corey, who was the best quarterback you ever played against? Troy Aikman or Steve Young? And I had Adam's stuff pulled up. I was supposed to hit that, but we were trying to catch up on those breaks.
No, he didn't. That's not an or. He was just saying question mark. Dan Marino. Listen, never won a Super Bowl, and people want to judge quarterbacks by that. But I would say Dan Marino was probably the best. When you're talking about quick release, man, that ball is out. But my era, man, I played against all the Hall of Famers. You know, Dan Marino, John Elway, Steve Young, Troy Aikman, Joe Montana. Even got Warren Moon. I mean, I had a chance to play against a ton of Hall of Fame quarterbacks. But, I would say probably definitely Dan Marino. When you're talking about throwing the slinging the football, it was not even close. It would be Dan Marino. But Joe Montana was that guy, just a warrior, a great player, smart. Brett Favre also was in my draft class, played against him some. So, I will go Dan Marino.
Also another lefty, right?
Dan Marino, no, he's a righty.
You want a lefty? Who am I thinking of?
Steve Young.
Steve Young was lefty.
Yeah.
Steve Young. Who's the other one you mentioned? Troy Aikman. You got that picture of you
Second. You ready for second?
Yeah, Troy Aikman. I remember that. Somebody painted it or something. Wait, put your progressive lens on, because what are you saying? What was he talking about? Dan Marino, yeah. Agent mentioned him too. Falcons legend Brett Favre. Brett Favre, man. I hope he's doing all right. I know he was battling with Parkinson's.
That's a training camp helmet.
Oh my God! I mean, bro.
Bro, I mean, there it is. From one side, got the Giants on NFL. This is the real deal. You can see the inside.
Man, it looks like it stinks. It looks like you didn't take care of it, clean it. I mean, it's brown.
I want it real. I want it to be real.
Where's the chin strap? Let me guess. Back in your day, y'all were so tough, y'all didn't need chin straps.
Leather helmets, dude. But that's it. That's going on the auction. Signed 1991.
You need to include a chin strap with it in case Adam wants to.
Bro, he can take a shoestring and do it, but
shoestring, bro. I mean,
do you know how valuable this thing is? This helmet is 34 years old.
Let's look. I mean, let's look. We can look on eBay. Let's compare. We can compare it on eBay.
Now you can compare this because this is real personally worn. This
No,
is my
there's personally worn helmets on
rookie.
eBay. I'm saying. I mean, let's look on eBay.
Yeah, I don't care what the eBay says. I know this right here.
I'm just saying it. I'm just curious. Let's say game worn Giants helmet. No, I'm just curious myself. Oh, they said when you're talking about that route. Yeah, I was about to say, bro. That
Post, corner,
brother,
then you go back down the numbers. Now
he's
the
drifting
pass,
out.
because the guy threw the ball outside. The ball's supposed to be in the post.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, man.
1991, baby.
We'll get
Adam is from 1991.
We'll get
I
Slade
signed
on
it 1991. I signed it right there.
And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Looks like we're looking at my dad showing off a 1991 rookie helmet that he wore. Looked like the decal fell off on
34 years when you think it fallen. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I just was pointing out. This is what it looked like.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I did point that out earlier, but look,
no, I didn't say it's a problem. I mean, maybe you hit somebody, or maybe a pulling guard put that hat on your hat. It knocked the helmet off.
That would have been a penalty right there, probably, wouldn't it?
That's definitely targeting. I mean, literally, there's all the proof is clearly right there for targeting. Speaking of the Giants, we all know our official representation, Adam Lamparello, Lamparello Law, is a huge Giants fan. So shout out to Mr. Adam Lamparello, Lamparello Law Education and Advocacy, who does join us on Thursday. Looking forward to talking with him tomorrow because we have had some new updates with the whole case that we'll discuss with Adam tomorrow. Plus, we'll discuss some Alabama football talk. They will return to the practice field tomorrow, so we'll do all that with our guy Adam. But for all you guys wondering how you can find somebody that can represent you in a first-class manner with genuine care, passion, relentless advocacy that you guys can hear every time he joins the show and talks about these cases, man, make sure you guys contact Adam with Lamparello Law Education and Advocacy. They also cover conduct issues like misconduct in academic situations, First Amendment cases, name, image, and likeness cases, and, of course, all criminal defense matters. But even more, high school, college, and graduate students are always looking to help you guys, whether that's mentoring, right? Exam and test taking preparation, subject matter mastery, personal statements, resumes, long-term academic and professional planning, and so much more. If you guys are looking for someone that can represent you or offer any of those great services, make sure you guys check out Lamparello Law Education and Advocacy at 201-317-5115. Website is very soon to be launched. Again, that is lamparello-law.com, where you can always shoot Adam an email, adam@lamparello-law.com. Again, Lamparello Education. I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired. It's been a long day. And Lamparello Law Education and Advocacy, our official representation here on the Miller's Edge. All right, we only got a couple minutes left, guys. So I'm going to hang out on the stream a little bit longer because I do know that we got maybe some interviews coming up with Pro Day concluding here in a moment. Chase, you got any final thoughts, man, on Pro Day or anything like that, or before we get out of here? Same old kind of deal. You're just waiting to hear from these interviews, kind of see how guys think about how they did.
I'm telling you, these interviews tell a story. I'll say that. So I'm looking forward to that. And the route that Ryan went, he looked quicker, like elusive. He wasn't as like stout. It was more like free flow. So hopefully we can see a lot more of that during the season. But it's always a pleasure, man. Miller's Edge, man.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, no, it's been quite the episode, man. Sorry, I'm in one of those points where I'm talking so long, feel dehydrated, man. I can't even keep up with what's going on. Then I'm also multitasking, looking at him like reading us a bedtime story right here with this massive book that looks like it's from like Goliath himself. Like that's what he reads out of.
I wanted to bless Adam and show him this book. It's New York Giants.
I mean, are you just dancing for Adam right now?
It's my book.
What is it, newspaper clippings and stuff?
Yeah.
No, it is a cool book. It's a massive book. I remember the guys that did that because they were at my training camp with the Panthers. It was I forgot, they offer that thing where they can go back for athletes and pretty much do all that. That being said, we got to get out of here and wrap things up on the radio side of things. Maybe we'll hang out on the stream for a few more minutes and kind of see if we can cover some of these interviews. But tomorrow we will definitely summarize Pro Day, everything that we got to see out there, go over numbers, performances, all that good stuff, play some of the interviews tomorrow on the show. Plus, we will be joined by the man himself, Mr. Adam Lamparello, and we'll discuss the latest with some of the updates in that Hallway case. Plus, we'll gear up for Alabama men's basketball facing Michigan this Friday, and so much more right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Big thanks to everybody tuning in on all of our platforms today. We look forward to doing it again tomorrow right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC.
Bye, y'all. Roll Tide, roll.
You've been listening to the Miller's Edge, tackling sports daily.
WTBC Tuscaloosa.
Chase, appreciate you, brother. We'll get that little preview thing done some other time. I can send one at some point, but
It's right here. Miller takes the torch. LT.
let me get some warm milk so I can get ready to take a nap. You're reading these stories, man.
Yeah, I didn't even hardly open
massive,
the book. I just saw it. I thought about it.
No, it's a cool book. I'm just giving you a hard. No, it's cool. It's cool that they're able to do that. They track down all the basically what because you guys clearly can't read the small print, but it's a book where they take a collection of like all the news stories and clippings that they find throughout an athlete's career. They do it for like athletes pretty much. And they find pictures and newspaper articles and clippings, and they put together a big book. And so that one was made for him, but it's literally like the biggest book you'll probably ever see. I mean, it's probably about 3 feet tall, looks like. Not quite, but close. Maybe
It's
two
big.
and a half.
It's nice.
That's
though.
big. Hold on. Here were some clips from Jaisha real quick. Let me put these back on the screen. So we had that one. I'm still calling that like a slant corner route. Again, I'm not a route expert. I'm not going to be the first one to act like I am, but to me, that's what I'm kind of seeing now. Let's see who we got here. This Brody Dalton, maybe. Okay. We got Josh Cuevas.
My boy.
Good route. Nice catch. Nice rep from Cuevas again. Yeah, I think these interviews probably are coming up soon. We'll refresh this real quick, see if there's anything else. Let me see. I wonder if defense has done their stuff. Adam says the Brendan Byrne Arena was next to Giant Stadium. That's where so many WWF shows were held. Was that like a basketball arena, something like that?
That was it.
Well, you or Adam. I think he mentioned that. Are you familiar with that? The Brendan Byrne Arena?
Yes.
I love that we got so many wrestling fans on here. That's cool, man. Adam says, yes, it was where the Nets played. Okay. That makes sense.
It was right next to Giant Stadium.
That makes perfect sense.
This just fell out somewhere. I don't know where this came from.
I can't believe you thought Jeremy Bernard would be like a 5th or 6th round pick. That was a crazy take.
1997, New York Times.
Well, don't rip it.
Just fell out. That's Adam.
You needed to get that like in a case or something.
Yeah, it was on the floor. It might have been in that book. I'm put it right here on my desk.
Yeah, I would get like a sleeve or something to cover that up.
All right. I'll tell y'all.
Corey had a pick 6, but Keith Hamilton screwed it up.
He did. He held.
I just hope I have the memory that Adam has, man. Like I'm not like in all seriousness, I don't even remember like my college games is like, I mean, like Adam is, it's amazing that Adam's able to to recall all those moments like that, man. I hope I can do that because there's times where like
I got a lot
double.
I got some of your stuff. I got some of your stuff.
No, I'm saying like how he can easily just like recount like specific moments. Like it's hard for me to even do that just from like when I played here not that long ago. Like I'll remember, like a couple of the main details here and there, but like the fact that Adam can pinpoint like specific plays that you were a part of. And we're talking about like back in 93 versus me, just, I don't know, back in 2016, 10 years versus you're talking about 91 was, that's like 30 some years ago, man. Like 30 odd years ago.
Time.
Yeah, man.
I like this right here.
Guarantee you Adam's going to remember this. Wait. That's offense, wasn't it? I'm confused.
Yes, but I'm on Rodney Hampton.
Agents say you need to check the temperature, saying stuff like that. There's no way. Bernard, that's like asinine, if I'm being honest. Hold on, we got a few more clips. Let's see.
All right, here you go. One clip. Here you go, Adam. LT. There's me coming out the corner here. We got rip, strip sack. John Madden. Jeff George.
I remember Jeff George.
See that rip? See that rip, boy? Ben, get that corner. Strip. Give me that. I ain't gonna show y'all no more.
Adam said you had 10 sacks in 93?
A lot. I was before they start making me cover. That was LT's last year, and then they moved me to True Sam. See Ty throwing off that back foot right there. You see that? That's what the ball said.
I know, but they're working that. That's some of these things I don't understand why they have quarterbacks
ball off the back
these.
foot. Look. But I'm
right.
Probably getting.
I know they're showing that, like he's working with the coach, or they're trying to practice that intentionally. But like sometimes, like the mechanics, like they'll have these guys do these like jump throws and stuff. Like I don't know. Personally, I've just never really.
Yeah, and that's what happened when you throw off your back foot.
And that's why I don't really get the point of really. If you do it right, it looks all cool and stuff, but it's really bad mechanics technically for a quarterback. But I'll leave it to the quarterback coaches to do all that. I think Ryan had a drop here. I know Ty put it on him, but
oh God, come on, Ryan, come on, Bernard, come on, do you Coleman?
Yeah, Ryan Coleman Williams. Do you feel like Ty? I think said that's on me, but granted, yes, the throw could have been better, but are you on the?
You got to catch that. Well, the throw should be on the inside.
No, 1,000%.
Right, that's more of a post route, but still, you got to adjust your body. I mean. Nobody's covering you, but that's the Ryan Williams, the Ryan Coleman Williams that we know, right? The simple catches he don't make.
That's not, but I wouldn't call it necessarily simple. I mean,
that's a simple man. You at Alabama?
No, I know. No, I agree that he should catch that football, but but
look at his hands.
Easiest catch.
Look at his hands. His hands are not open. When you gather the ball with your hands open, look at his hands and watch his hands now. He's eyeing it. That's what you want. He's tracking the ball, but look at his hands. That's why he dropped it. They close to the opening of the hands and catching the ball. That's catching the ball one-on-one in college.
Well,
come on, bro.
What I'm seeing is almost looks like he's kind of like almost trying to catch, from this angle, but also thinking maybe because of the placement. You see what I mean? Like, look at his hands. Like, they're kind of in like in between both of those positions. Like, he's not really doing either. He's kind of just opening up.
Look, he's open, but
I don't
then
know
they
if he's
close
thinking he's
real
going to
quick.
catch it. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of interesting stuff there, but anyway, I mean, I guess it's one catch. I ain't gonna be down on the guy, but hopefully though that is something that is cleaned up in the off season. Because is this another one? Let's see what this one is. Wait, why is it not? Okay, I don't know. Let's scroll. Let's keep scrolling. That was that one we've seen. I think we saw that. I bobbled that a little bit.
His head is spotty, bro. He does
Do you
not
think it's
have
his
great
hands, or do you think it's his
Yeah.
head? Meaning, like, do you think he's kind of overthinking it, or do you think he just has an issue?
He does not have great hands. So
Got
I
good speed,
understand. Yeah, but I understand why he was on the bench a lot now, doing some critical third down, because I think coaches don't trust him. You don't have the coach's trust. I mean, you can see him bobbling balls. I mean, he's a sensational athlete.
All right, here's Noah Rogers. So this is a transfer from NC State. Oh,
Why is he out there?
Whoa.
That ain't gonna help you. What in the world is that?
No, chill. Slide, easy. All right, wait, come on. Give him a second. He might have been nervous. He just transferred. He's out there because we only had Jeremy Bernard, Cuevas, and I guess technically Jan Miller, right? I mean, and then the other tight end. I keep forgetting his name. I don't really know. Are you getting an alert?
Yep.
Anyway. Oh, it looks like Jaisha just tagged us in Ty Simpson's interview, so we can listen to that. But I'm not gonna lie, this was a little hard to watch right here. I ain't gonna lie to you.
They about blew out his ankle right there.
Way too.
Oh God, bro.
Come on, go, stop, dude. Stop. Come on, man.
He's a wide receiver.
That's Noah. What's his last name? The one from NC State, Noah Rogers.
He transferred to Alabama.
Yeah, that's why he's running. He's going to be on the roster this upcoming season. He's on the team right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I do like the hands. Watch his hands open. What I'm talking about earlier. He just tripped right there. But see his hands open, catch the ball. See that right there? That's how you catch it.
I got you. That's smooth. But the way he's breaking down, I know you say he tripped. That's how he's breaking down.
Nah, that's foot guy. He's a little high on the bend there, but you need to squat a little
too
bit.
High.
Yeah, I mean, it just happens. It happens.
Bro, you're the one cracking up. I'm over here trying to actually analyze it. Come on, I'm just saying, like, all right, you gotta really get in there. You gotta sit down on it. I mean,
this is what we call it. Come back inside.
I'm not gonna overreact to it. I just, like I said,
He catches it clean. And, just the turf monster got him. A lot of guys blow out their knees just like that. Just on that.
Well, let's see. He probably ran some more.
Injury.
Let's see some more. I don't know. I think that's Jeremy Bernard. Smooth.
Now look at those hands right there. Now those are great hands.
Let's see, who is this? That's early on.
There we go. That's proper.
That's some power right there in that punch, boy.
Nah, base way too wide.
Okay, but I said some power in that punch. That's some punch.
That's good. Now he gets wide right there.
He's moving pretty good. He looks pretty good.
He's moving great. See, he done lost weight, I promise.
Yeah, you're right. He gets a little too wide on that last one right here. He looked good, though. I wonder what he weighed in at. I'm about to look it up.
330.
Hell no. No. Ain't no way. Ain't no way he weighed in at 330. I want to see some more clips of Noah Rodgers running some routes. Like I said, I'm not overreacting on that one, but definitely, leaning, bending at the waist, not at the, what I'm saying, the hips and the ankles. I don't know. I think he kind of had a misstep, but I think Jaisha tagged us in something. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, here it is.
Okay. Ty, film speaks for itself. Film speaks for itself, but if you had to go into a room, there was no film, and they told you had 90 seconds to make a pitch on why a team should draft you, what would you tell them?
Go watch. I mean, you say go watch the film, but I'm tough. I'm resilient. I love football, and I want to make other people better. When I come into a program, I'm a program changer. I don't just make myself better. I make other people better. So if you draft me and you want me to be your franchise quarterback, I'm not just coming in and do it. You look after myself. I'm looking after the whole team and making sure that I leave it better than where I left it.
That was a good question by Jaisha.
Yeah, I like that. I like that question.
Yeah, she's good. She's doing good, man. She's great. All right, well, I think that's probably about it for now. I mean, tomorrow we'll definitely we'll cover a lot more of it, kind of circle back to everything. I don't even know.
He getting ready to get paid, that's for sure.
You talking about Ty?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Getting ready to get about 20, 30 stacks.
All right, well, real quick before we get out of here, let me ask. So you already said it. I mean, Ty, you're saying you're probably about as close as he's been to being a first round pick or like a lock there. I'm with you on that.
Nah, he's a lock. I mean, I think the only thing that could happen for him is he start having when this happened, when they start being a lot of trades and things get bumped down, then he could bump maybe early second. There's a chance that could happen now, but I still think he will be the second quarterback taken because because GMs and owners are so stupid sometimes with hype and national champion and Heisman Trophy winner and all this stuff. And this guy, and then they go draft a guy like Fernando. Listen, they better really watch the tape. And one thing I do agree with Dan Orlowski is the fact that you watch some of the throws, Ty does make more difficult throws. A lot of the throws for Indiana guys were just running open. Ty had pressure a lot. Ty was under stress a lot. Fernando had a much better offensive line. So, yeah, Chad, I do think he will be a first round late, but you don't know. I mean, that's easy to say today, but they said that about Shadur's last year, top 10. He went to fifth round, which that was unheard of and stupid. But things can happen. The draft is weird. People make crazy trades. People become available from other teams all of a sudden that somebody else likes, and boom, 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 and you can drop really quick. And then nobody needs a quarterback for 10 picks. If he's lingering down there 22, 23, then a trade happens, and then nobody needs a quarterback. Now you drop to the second round. These things happen all the time.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I mean, I wouldn't say like, I would say it's 100% because you said it. I mean, the draft is a little unpredictable, right? I mean, you just never know. But I think he's probably about as close as he's ever been thus far to being a first round lock, given that.
So what if he does go to the second round? Does it really matter?
No, it really doesn't. It's just conversation. It's all just talk radio.
I mean, it just sounds good for that people can say that, Alabama had a first round quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, but for him, the money going to be different, yeah. But other than that, it ain't going to really matter.
No. But let's hear what he had to say. I think this question was about him being regarded as a potential number one pick.
And everything that kind of comes with it.
Well, it's the same way that I processed you guys during the end of the year last year. You just got to ignore it and keep playing. I get it. there's going to be a lot of, questions around my name, but I know what I'm capable of, and I know that, whoever's going to get me is going to get a really good player, and a guy who loves football, and a guy who loves the team and loves being a part of bigger, something bigger than himself.
It's curious.
This is the only thing I'll say. I feel like every time we hear from these guys, man, everything, and it's probably why they act so, the way they act with the media and stuff, which is what it is. But it almost is like they think everybody's so against them just for being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just said the same, like he said, y'all talking about everybody, which. You don't know which one of the who in that group, may have been critical of him or his team, and who might not have been. I would be cautious if I was him to kind of start taking that. I felt, remember, like even after the Oklahoma game, he had a really good game, and it was him and
right back.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. I don't know. It kind of bothers me when they take that approach.
He definitely right back against Indiana.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, because I'm like, at the end of the day, man, like. I don't think if people were critical of the Indiana game or the Georgia game, while they might not have known every single detail of what guys might have been dealing with, I mean, like, were people necessarily wrong for being critical of how we played? You can't hold that against media people or make comments like that, like, oh, just, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. And I feel like that's just been a theme like the last few years with all these teams here in Tuscaloosa. It's always, oh, we're the only ones we got. F everybody on the outside. Like it's just like listen, like as a player, I understand that I've been in that position. Like, but the way they broadcast it so much, man, it's just I don't know. Maybe it's just different for me. Just hearing that.
Well, media's because of what's good, fam. Dr. Crystal, how you doing?
What's up, Dr. Crystal?
Media's loud now. Because of social media, they got ways of, getting the word out, and these guys listen. They on socials. They see it. Somebody going to retweet, quote tweet, whatever you call it, X quote X. But so it's easy to get into your feelings. You know what I mean when you hear these guys saying. And then, and it's always going to be what they don't know what they're talking about. They never played. That's always in the locker room about media. You got a bunch of, nerdy dudes with a pen and back in the day or whatever, recorder, and they don't understand locker room. They don't understand competition. They don't understand getting beat up and battered. And that's always been the sentiment in the locker room. And I'm not saying that that's true, but I'm just saying that that's what it's been. And so when you hear these guys speaking so loud, like, a matter of fact, right? Like when they say stuff, it's like a matter of, and why this guy shouldn't start or why this guy should play or why they should have done this. And you have all these opinions from these people that they don't have receipts. They just like sports and they're basement feeders
Okay, I mean, they ain't got to go all that far. But
I'm just saying, but that's just the truth to a lot
mean.
of it. But I mean, but that's what I'm saying. A lot of players have a problem with it because, and again,
they take offense to it because they're saying, I mean, you're so critical of me, but let's see you do it, like the man in the arena. I understand all that because
they don't make it right. It does not make it right because they're doing their job, right?
Right.
But today they do more than their job because they go past writing an article or a commentary to personalize their feelings. And so when you get personal with it like that, then these guys are gonna fire back because that's just because now with social media they're using their personal stuff. It ain't like I'm working for, the Ty Journal. You know what I mean? And there's guardrails to what I say. Well, you don't have those guardrails anymore, right? You don't have them things out there like that no more. They can use their own stuff and say what they want to say, pretty much. So
but what about if it's done, for example, and this isn't just me saying this. I mean, I know it's the way I try to present things, but even when people, comment about how I'll talk about me because I know sometimes you kind of just say what's on your mind. But I try to do it in a respectful way. I try to do it so it's not personal. It's just me reporting on what I see, me analyzing things. And if guys play bad, I have to speak on that. Now I can word it in a way where it's a little bit softer
Mm-hmm.
and it's not as direct or disrespectful. But it's even kind of like I see like in the NFL space. You know, you got a lot of former players in the league that cover,
Well,
right? But they do it in. I feel like what you're describing is when those guys come at players personal, like when Micah Parsons took an issue with like Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless' old ass gets in front of a camera and literally bashes Micah Parsons, and we know. Everybody knows Skip Bayless could never even sniff anything that Micah Parsons has ever done on the football field. But he's talking about him in a disrespectful way, basically saying, "Oh man,
well,
he's
but that's
not
what
worth
they're
anything."
talking heads. But that's what
Right.
sports
So
media
I
is.
can understand that
Sports
approach.
media
I'm
is
saying,
just that now. Like they want, they want.
not completely though, because I don't see like
Most
our
of them
beat
want
reporters.
clicks.
I'm
They
saying,
want,
listen,
they want clicks and likes and want you.
that's
I mean,
true.
Stephen
Yeah,
A's a
true.
prime example, right? Stephen A's loud and he can speak. And he got the gift of gab, and he, you know, right? He's funny. People, you know, some people think he's funny. I think he's, you know, I keep that to myself. But the thing is, um, but they say stuff like. And I'm like, why, you know, do you even care what Stephen A. Smith, like, who quarterback? I don't care if he's been covering the game for 32 years, 48 years. He ain't played, he don't know that. Now, what he does do is bring in a lot of former players, which I give him credit for, that know the game, the Orlowskis, the Ryan Clarks, the, you know, big boy from Louisiana, what's his name?
Who?
Swagoo and all them dudes that he brings in. And
Yeah, I'm drawing a
he
blank.
brings in
Peters?
knowledgeable. He bring in basketball. He brings in former players. He does that now. He still offers his opinion, but he does bring in guys that have respectable viewpoints, that has been in locker rooms, has been in games, and so that deserves a ton of respect. But like what this dude just be talking. I mean, he's loud. It's like with politics. Now he's on the politics. I mean, so you know, now he gets out of the cars with his custom suits and he's, you know, he's walking wide leg like he's big. You know, like dude, man, sit your tail down somewhere. Like, but when they get to the point of getting personal, like he did with LeBron James. Listen, let me just tell you something, man. Back in the freaking day, and I was in the media capital of New York. And listen, you don't talk. If he'd have said some stuff like he be doing now, oh, you're gonna have to answer to that, bro. All right, I mean, because I'm gonna find you somewhere. I'm gonna find you in the restaurant, at the
Oh, don't
club.
threaten nobody now.
No, I'm just saying. Back in the day, you're gonna have to answer face to face this crap you saying in front of that camera, in front of your little buddy thing. You can kiki and ha ha all you want to, but I'm gonna put them hands on you because see, back in the day, you wouldn't step to people like that. He knows that he can say these things and get away with it because the guy that's going, you know, it's going to be the athlete that gets in trouble. But you don't need to make things personal, right? You can say, okay, guy didn't play well, like how he does Dak Prescott. I mean, it's horrible how he does LeBron James and Kyrie Irving, and I mean, they get so personal. But back in the day, bro, let me just tell you something. You have brothers gonna come find you. I'll just tell you that right there. And nobody gonna, you know, listen. Back in the day, nobody. There you look at him. Oh, he got a little white, pink, whatever. You look at him, man. Look at him. He done got that bag
he's
now.
feeling
Now he
himself
got
a little too much, man. He feeling,
oh, bro, he feeling this pride.
Yeah, it's a little
Let
too
me tell you
much.
something. But he gonna get it because pride comes before a fall. He's prideful.
And listen, I hear exactly what you're saying about, and that's what I'm talking about. Media guy perspective, but when I hear like Ty say it like that, like addressing the local beat writers, I haven't heard them act like Stephen A. You know what I'm saying? Like they might have written an article basically saying,
just look at him, bro. Look at him.
See, you got a personal issue with this man. I can't even.
God, dude. I want to grab it. I'm just telling Lord, this is not pastorally. Lord, forgive me. I'm asking for it. But the thing is, dude, somebody need to take him in the back room right there and put these things on him. And let me just say, the good old, nobody got no gun, and got no knife, and no billy stick. You Joe, come on, tough guy. Let's see how tough you really is. Let me see how tough you. So that's what I'm saying. If when you put people in they play, it don't take but one time. One time. But I'm just saying, listen, I worked in the media. I get it. I worked in New York media. I understand it better than most people. But I can, and that's why, folks are like, oh, Corey, I'm very, matter of fact myself in my opinions, because I believe.
Well, that's what they say in Spanish. You're very blunt, right? Just say
I'm blunt, and I'm just,
yeah.
hey, let's be a part ourselves. Like, you got to guess what I'm saying. It is what it is. Now, I don't have to rip apart the individual person, but, but I'm just saying, man, it's just, all this stuff. Listen, man, he was a wannabe basketball player, never really did anything. He's very good. He's well spoken. He knows all the verbiage. He knows these big words that he tries to toss around as a black man all the time. You know what I mean? But let me just tell you, so I can tell you the brothers that I know in the decade of '90 when I played, he would have got his A toe up. Let me tell you something right now, because I'm telling you, these brothers would have been waiting outside the club. He's in New York too. Oh no! Oh yeah, you finished Spotify. We're gonna find you, and we're gonna. What happened is you're gonna call. Here's what happened. You're gonna be in the club with your pink suit on, with shades, with your little girl on your arm, and in the private room in your bottle, right? You got your bottle service, and then what's gonna happen is, hey man, peep this right here, man. We talk like this. Let me holler at you for a minute, man. So you went on TV, you said this right here. But I'm gonna call your bluff right now. What you mean, bro? In front of your little girlfriend, you tough guy.
I mean,
don't start studying
at
me
this
now.
point. At this point, I think we need to go ahead and set up the celebrity boxing match, man.
No,
Pastor
ain't no
Payne
boxing,
versus
man. But that's
Stephen A.
how I
Smith, man.
know. I know the dude that I used. This is what would have happened. And somewhere we gonna come across somewhere. As a golf tournament, celebrity basketball game, at the NBA All-Star Weekend, thing that we saw go to. We gonna have they gonna be a point in time. You gonna have to see me, and when we see you, you gonna have to let me hear this tape. This ain't gonna be first take. This gonna be street take. I want your street take. So when you tell me that one, you either gonna bust me up, I'm gonna bust your end up.
Yeah, he might have hands.
Well, he gonna have to prove to me he got some hands. That's what I'm telling you right now.
All right, just don't listen. Just remember now, there's social media nowadays. So if you're gonna press Stephen A. like that, you're gonna put the big old paws on.
I'm saying the way it used
don't
to be.
Don't be a clip on first take. Don't be a clip on first take.
I'm just saying for me today.
Please don't be a clip on first take.
I'm just saying he wouldn't roll like that in the '90s because I'm telling you that would not happen. That's all I'm saying. Now, as a pastor and a preacher, obviously I wouldn't do that at all. Period. But I'm just saying. But the thing is, the days I hear things, I would be like, man, oh yeah. But you be
going kind of hard on people. Listen, but you go hard on people too. But what is somebody
get some of these athletes? They go on TV and
what
do
if
the
somebody
same
presses
thing.
you?
They get some of these athletes. They go on TV and do the same thing now, and they play and they do the same thing.
I was about to say, I mean, the former players are about. The former players are about just as bad, if not worse. I'm saying, what if somebody might press you though? I mean, because you come hard sometimes, man. I'm saying,
if they feel the need to press me, then they need to press me. And if I feel the need to respond, as I just studied in John chapter, if Jesus writes his anger, then if I need to flip over some tables and flip, then I will flip tables. Listen, I ain't about it tripping. No, listen, man, people, listen. I'm saved and filled with the Holy Spirit, but I carry too. Hey, bro, it's like, come on, man. I ain't trying to be that way. I'm just saying, people like that, though, it's about something totally different than.
Wait, hold on. Let me see. My connection or his, man. Maybe they booted him out of here. He was getting too violent talking about Stephen A. Smith, man. I'm gonna read a couple of these chats. I got to get out of here. I gotta run and go haul at my dog before he packs up and moves up out of here. Pastor Corey off the top rope. That's what it sounds like. there's a difference in doing something in the past to know people not going to step to you than not doing nothing in the past and inviting people to step to you. Yeah, I don't know. I've always been of the belief, man. Just in your coverage and you're analyzing things, and it might not be the most positive thing you're talking about, man. I think it's all about presentation, delivery, and there's always a way to doing it, right? I mean, you can flat out say, hey, you were terrible, or you can say, hey, man, this guy struggled, right? I mean, just those are kind of painting the same picture, but two very different ways of doing it. And that's why I always choose to do the latter, right? I always try to say, oh, they struggled, right? Didn't have his best performance, stuff like that. Because I think about that because I know when I was in their shoes, like I get it. Like when you're in the locker room, when you're seeing people write articles and talk on the internet and say all these things, it's not fun. You don't want to see that crap. And you do take stuff personal, whether you got thick skin or you say you don't pay attention to it. I mean, at some point you're going to see it. So that's why I'm at least mindful of the way I do it. Now, I mean, Pastor Payne is his own man. I can't really control what he says or does. I mean, we're happy that he is like that. I'm just explaining my approach. But dang, you guys definitely aren't big fans of Stephen A. Smith. All right, that said, I gotta get out of here. I gotta make a hard exit real quick. But big thanks to all you guys tuning in. Big thanks to Jaisha Nance, who was doing our live coverage today over on the Miller's Edge X account. If you guys missed it or you want to go back and check that out, at the Miller's Edge, also at Jai Nance. It's her personal Sneeze Sports is her media platform that she covers sports with. Does a phenomenal job, and we're really appreciative for her going over there and helping us out with that coverage. And we'll definitely keep having her, help us out. She's definitely going to help us more in the future, and we're going to do some stuff together, which is awesome. So really looking forward to doing that. And then tomorrow we got Adam on the show. We'll have Brandon Clear. I'll let you guys know if there's any other things, but we'll definitely be talking about Pro Day, kind of the result, I guess not result, but you guys know what I mean. Breaking down exactly kind of how guys perform because we didn't get a chance to get numbers and all the interviews. We'll have all that tomorrow. We'll do that on the show. We'll get our guests on here. We'll roll into a free for all Friday. We'll talk about practice number 2, by the way, which takes place tomorrow. So we got a lot of action coming y'all's way right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. You guys know the drill. Hit that like button on the way out. Subscribe. All our ex-listeners, go over on YouTube. Check out our channel. Subscribe to it. That always helps us out if you guys don't mind. And with that said, we'll see you guys tomorrow.